burn me.
I wish that we caught me working.
Problem. The recording program didn't start at the same time because it wasn't clicked on that screen. Because I clicked on the other window. But it'll sort of match up.
I wish we would have caught that whole me talking about my job shit working in the.
I will tell you though, like, Bob would be very offended if someone tried to change his name. That would bother him greatly. Like if someone took him off, then he'd be like grieved. Does he
walk around?
He's
Bob
very
just walking
aggrieved.
around
The man is very
Mercer
aggrieved
right now, and he's just like, man, I'm the lead name.
So
dog.
he and I, last Friday, I was off, went to see like a stockbroker guy that we both use. Stockbroker, like investments. And
but you both use.
Yeah, we both.
All right, money bags. All right.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. And all he did was complain about how like he needs to find a way to avoid the inheritance tax for me.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to pay the inheritance tax because he dies in that scenario. But he's bothered by the inheritance tax that I'm going to have to pay. The man has won retirement, but he can't not be aggrieved.
What are you gonna have to pay?
4% of whatever I get.
Okay, I mean, but he's upset that
he's upset about my inheritance tax. Yes.
Why?
Because he doesn't want the government to get money that's already been taxed.
Yeah, but there's a reason behind that. It's not like they're just
no, it's because he hates the government. That's
communist.
That's the reason he hates the government. He's not communist. He would like all his money to be his. He doesn't want to give anything to anyone else. But yeah, so like and like it actually made me like feel too frugal. Too concerned about building things because like the man won retirement. Like he doesn't worry about things.
Does he own a business?
No, he was a civil engineer for 35 years, First Energy.
So I'm assuming he's retired.
Yeah, he's retired. He's a sweet pension, you know, because we don't. We don't get pensions, but like he got one.
I know, dude.
And like it's funny because like he'll tell me all the time. He's like, I could never vote for Joe Biden because when Obama was president, they had the war on coal and I lost my job. And I was like, yeah, bro, but also when you were working, you had a heart attack and answered phone calls at 3 a.m. in the hospital. So maybe Joe Biden saved your life. I don't know. One of the two things happened.
I don't understand how Joe Biden saved his life.
Well, because if he's blaming Obama and Joe Biden for the war on coal and losing his job, he has to give credit to Obama and Joe Biden for not working and having no heart condition anymore.
But dude, isn't coal still huge?
They shut down the big plant in Shippensport.
Yeah, but I think I just had a conversation about somebody with this that like coal is still, I think, 40 or 50%.
And they're trying to reopen things. It's just, I mean, it's lip service to environmental people. In my opinion, like we need power. Like
they throw anything underneath the bus at them.
And it's like, okay, we're against coal, but like, what's China using? Well, we're still going to buy through China. Yeah, what are they using for like power and stuff like that? Oh, they're still using that, and they're but they're not. But if we don't pollute, it's going to take care of them. No, it's not. I mean, it's the world's one thing. I mean, it's flat, but it's one thing.
The world's Jesus Christ. I like the idea of Chinesing. I'm gonna start using that.
Chinesing? Yeah, they're Chinesing everything. Yeah,
they're Chinesing. John Cena's being Chinesing.
John Cena needs to do something with that hair. He needs to cut that off. I saw him at the WrestleMania thing. Super huge bald spot.
What was that like?
It was awesome.
John Cena's still going?
John Cena came out. Yeah, he got rock bottomed by The Rock.
And The Rock's going?
And then the lights went out and The Undertaker appeared and chokeslammed The Rock. It was a whole thing.
What the fuck? Are they just bringing everybody back?
It was like for the title match, and there was all his interference, and The Rock is like a bad guy again. It's awesome, but
what?
Yeah, The Rock's he's a super bad guy.
Cool. Last time I saw The Rock there, he was just fucking lighting his name on fire with a little mini flamethrower.
Oh man, he was like bad mouthing this guy, and like he beat him up outside and whipped him with a belt.
What?
And he called the belt Mama Rhodes, like the guy's mom's name, because like he said she should have whipped him as a child, and he told the dude it was a mistake. It was wild. The Rock's a super bad guy now.
You know who they need to bring back?
He was actually talking about Mama. He would say, "Yeah, I talked to Mama Rhodes," and it was funny because she was there at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and
by the way, video for me just started recording.
Okay,
it wouldn't record for anything else.
But yeah, super bad guy, dude. And he's awesome. He's awesome as a bad guy.
He's a villain. He's a villain now.
Yeah.
They definitely need to somehow bring back, like, they need to, what is it called, where they have, like, the fake version of them, the AI version of them? They need to bring back the Macho Man Randy Savage.
I think I told the story where I've been to the Macho Man's house.
Really?
Yeah, in Clearwater, Florida.
You were talking about it on the first episode.
Yeah, because like I was gonna knock on the door, and I figured if the Macho Man kicked my ass, it's still a great story. But he wasn't home, so
this is why he was still alive. When did he die?
2007 or 8, probably. I don't know.
Oh, I feel like it was sooner than that.
I mean, he did the Spider-Man movie in like 2003,
That's
right?
True.
And he was like Bonesaw, whatever.
You got me for 3 minutes. Yeah.
they got another guy doing Slim Jims now. He kind of talks like the Macho Man. His name's L.A. Knight. And
What the fuck is that?
I goes, L.A. Knight.
He's a new wrestler.
Yeah, and then the crowd yells, yeah. But he's all huge and blurted out.
I think he's kind of going off of Stone Cold style too, because Stone Cold
stuns her,
did the whole what thing.
Yeah.
So like,
Can
I
I
think
get
he's
all-
going for that with the yeah thing.
Yep. But he'll be like, L.A. Knight, and the crowd will go, yeah. And they just yell. They were doing that on Friday. The crowd was out of control. It was pretty awesome. The pay-per-view. Or not pay-per-view. I guess it was a SmackDown taping.
So is there a chance that somebody could just see you? if they're
Probably
watching
not,
it?
because we got the cheap seats. We were in the nosebleeds.
Oh yeah,
The one in
I've done that.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we went through.
My buddy and his sister and like his other sister went with her. They all went. That was like a couples thing. They all went together.
Okay.
I saw it like on Instagram and stuff. I was like, oh, that's cool.
It was a super fun event. Yeah, it was cool.
Was there anything like really big that happened?
Not
whenever you
really,
went?
no. I mean, Triple H was there talking. He doesn't wrestle anymore because he's all fucked up. But
I was
like,
gonna say
there.
he runs the WWE.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
The
isn't
Rock.
he in
The
charge?
Rock is a part owner in the actual WWE.
Yeah, TKO Holdings.
Speaking
yeah.
of the WWE, did you see the McMahon bullshit that he got caught for?
Yeah.
Did you read
That
any of the excerpts
Yeah, that
he
happened a
had?
bit ago, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it happened a minute ago, but I mean, now that Triple H is in charge, I mean,
Listen.
dude,
Well,
Listen.
him and Stephanie.
Listen,
yeah,
you want to pay me $1 million and take a shit on me? You go right the fuck ahead. Okay, you go right
Dude,
the fuck
it was
ahead.
more
He
than
said
that.
biological
they were
warfare.
talking.
Do
They
it.
were talking about airtighting that lady. That's wild.
They were saying some wild shit. Listen, I read those messages and I felt appalled at some shit I said.
Dude. McMahon was out there and he was like, "You're
You're gonna get DP'd and stuff." And he's like, "Big black man." I'm like, "Oh shit."
That's how he keeps those employees in line.
He gives them a good dicking down.
Man.
2-for-1 special.
That's what
And
they
that
did.
was.
So they did back in the 80s, man. That was
Are
the
they
thing.
still calling the chicks divas?
No, they
That's
stopped
been-
doing that.
That's
and
been
they,
out for a while.
they stopped doing that a while ago, yeah. Women's movement. It was like the Me Too time. They're like, give divas a chance and some shit like that.
I heard that they do the Royal Rumble with chicks now. They have,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah,
That
they
means
have
they
a-
have over 30, right?
And them chicks are athletic as
Mhm.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing, dude, whenever I was in the military,
They
my
beat
buddy,
my ass for
my
sure.
buddy
Mhm.
would just come up to me and show me pictures of this chick named Paige, and I guess
Yeah.
that she was like the goth one.
Oh, she got fucked on video. There's a video of
Oh,
her
for
going around.
real?
Yeah.
Where's
like
that? I'm,
Xavier.
Oh, wait.
Save that for
Yeah.
later.
Are you talking about Paige? Like
Yeah,
that
one-
she's got black hair?
Yeah.
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
one
She's
of the
like
bla-
a.
Yeah.
And she's
one-
kind of got an accent.
Yeah, she's from England. Yeah.
She is dating, fuck, what's the band? Falling in Reverse.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Ronnie Radke is her boyfriend.
Yeah.
The dude that's
But yeah, there on that big leak, there's a video of her with like I think Xavier Woods is the black guy and some other guy named Brad Max used to be wrestlers that just
Oh, she's just getting pounded.
Yeah.
railed,
That's
Yeah.
wild.
mhm.
railed like a fucking Thanksgiving turkey.
I think that's why they fired her from WWF or some shit injury too.
So she's
but, like,
not in
well,
there anymore.
she
She
went
works-
to another
Yeah, she works her T.
company.
Yeah, she works
NXT?
no, NXT's WWF.
AEW, I think?
AEW, yeah. It's like
What's that?
It's an,
Dude, I don't pay. Like,
That's where
I'm in the
fucking-
2008 era.
it's like an
CM
independent
Punk
one.
was
yeah,
for a
CM
while.
Punk. It's like an independent one.
He's still around.
He's back in WWF now.
yeah, he has an injury.
Yeah.
He was supposed to wrestle in WrestleMania, but he couldn't
He
because
got
he was
hurt.
injured.
But no, they started like to rival WWF. It's kind of cool. I mean, Cody Rhodes, the guy that's champion WWF, started there too. I don't know. It's interesting. The guy you were talking about that puts his hands in his
Yeah,
pockets,
the
he
dude that-
wrestles there. Yeah.
Dude, he's just
Cassidy.
flipping people around with his
Yeah,
hands in his
his pockets,
pockets.
yeah,
It's so
he's-
wild. Like they don't even care that it's fake anymore.
Oh, well,
I feel like they just put it out
the
there.
thing about though is like
I mean,
they're
it's not really
athletic.
fake. It's just basically it's like a men's soap opera.
Yeah, it's scripted.
Yeah.
It's all scripted.
It's the
but
long.
that physical shit is real. Like that is real.
Monday Night Raw is the longest running like actual acting thing in TV history.
I miss ECW.
Really?
It's been around since 1993, nonstop.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it started on the USA Network in 1993.
I used to switch between WWE and the WCW.
I remember those days.
Also,
yeah,
WCW. that was-
ECW was around for a
Yeah,
bit.
E-
Paul Heyman's in WWE now.
Dude, I was I was really heavily into it during the fucking 2008 era. So I guess what are they calling that era now? The
I think
added,
it was like Ruthless Aggression or something.
yeah,
like
ruthless aggression era, and dude, that's whenever they brought back WCW for just a little bit.
Well,
and-
WCW was around still. It just WWF.
No,
it was WWF at the time, right?
No,
Still?
it was WCW was the one that was just like it was much more hardcore, and like they
Well,
were
EC
right?
that.
ECW was
WCW was
hardcore.
WCW was around like as same as long WWF, but like Ted Turner owned it, and then Vince McMahon
Yeah, it
bought
was
it in like
ECW.
2001. He bought because they used to have like Monday Night Wars back when I was growing up, and like that's all people watched, either WCW. Like they did ratings, like they were getting ratings of like 10.1, which is like a level below the Super Bowl. It's craziness because people didn't have the internet as much, and it was like wow, and they were just back and forth. But then WWF bought them.
Yeah, because I remember they were doing the Royal Rumble, and it was like you get to choose what if you're on. This was during the SmackDown and Raw Wars.
Yeah.
So you get to choose which team you're on, and like as people were coming out, that's how you would find out if they were on SmackDown or Raw, because it would just be like
They do a
it would be-
draft now, which is fucking weird.
It is weird.
They had a whole draft episode the other night.
Yeah, and they do it against the NFL draft.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The same night,
Yeah.
same
Well-
time, same damn station.
But they had like this whole ordeal where like some people were coming in with the Raw background, some people were coming in with the SmackDown background, and then fucking Big Show comes down with the SmackDown background, and it was like, oh shit, he's changing. Oh,
He switching
And then-
sides.
And then at the end, he's down to like the last 3 guys, and then he just rips off his shirt. He's wearing an ECW, and everyone's like, ah!
Yeah.
Dude, that was wild when that
Yeah,
shit happened.
I grew up with wrestling. I was born in '91. My uncle was a habitual, like, WWF watcher.
Yeah.
I remember Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and
Jimmy
like
Superfly Snuka.
the fucking Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, I love the Warrior.
Doink
That
the
was too old for
Doink the
me.
Clown.
Too old for me.
I love
Doink was around for a while, and then I remember like Sting from WCW, and then they had the NWO and fucking WWF for WCW for a while. 'cause
and
it was-
NWO were the same thing. They were
Yeah.
war, yeah. And Hulk Hogan went bad, and like Hulk Hogan turned villain. It was awesome.
Dude, I remember DX like it was yesterday.
Whenever
What was it? The guy from the Minnesota Timberwolves when they won their game did the suck it thing.
Yeah.
He was doing like that suck. It's eternal. It's eternal.
Dude, yeah. I listen, talking
that
about
was
it,
one way that like that ruined schools.
Well, I was gonna say-
Everybody in the school was doing
Yeah.
that shit.
I was gonna say talking about it right now, fucking just instant like flashback. I'm like, man, I can actually visualize all of the merch from that time.
Mhm.
And like so I had a Kevin Nash, like they had the wrestling dolls.
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
you fucking hit them, they would say
Mhm.
stuff. But I had the little mini version, it was just the head. So if you threw it and it was like, I'm Kevin Nash, and it'd go, woo! And I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude,
I had a Goldberg one, the actual doll. that
Okay,
did
nice.
shit.
so speaking of Goldberg, whenever I got in, it was like all of the borderline sex criminal characters were out there, and I feel like Goldberg was one of the OG.
Fuck.
They just
That
made fun
sent
of him
me.
for
I
being
almost
like.
choked on my beer.
they,
God damn.
they were just making fun of him, I think, for being like gay or trans. Right?
Goldberg
No,
was
no,
a
no,
sex
no,
criminal?
no.
No.
No,
that can't be
Goldberg
right.
but
was
I'm
the
talking
fucking
Gold
dude.
Dust.
Gold Dust.
Gold
Gold
Dust
Dust,
is
that's
what
fucking.
Yeah,
He wore the
yeah.
unitard. That's Dusty. That's Dustin, the champion's older brother.
Dusty Rhodes' kid.
Dusty
right?
Rhodes' kid, and like Cody Rhodes' older brother.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They actually wrestled together because he was Stardust.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
He
but
did the.
yeah,
he had
but
the
anyway.
stars on his hands.
I'm back in the day. WWE was cool. They had all like the things you can talk about, like the military people, like Iraqis. You had like a porn star. Val Venus was wrestling. He was a
Mhm.
porn star.
Yeah.
It was that shit was wild.
No,
dude.
dude, they had Rikishi, and
Who's related to The Rock?
Yeah, he's part of
Yeah.
the USO.
All
the
related,
whole,
yeah.
USO, they're the Samoans
Yeah.
of the WWE.
They're all related, like The Rock.
My buddy almost, whenever I was a kid, he broke my nose because he put a pillow on the back of my head, and then he was just like thinking like that's gonna take all
Sounds
of
like
the,
you're gonna get
all of the
touched
run.
in every way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, and then I just hear Rakishi.
Oh,
Do you have an ass in your
dude,
face?
Dude,
Oh.
he sat on the back of my head and
Yeah.
smashed my nose straight into the fucking
Shit.
ground.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
Listen, I think
I did the same shit to my brother though. I did the "You Can't See Me" to him.
Nice.
And I put a pillow on
Yeah.
his head and I smashed the shit up. And like I just kept on doing it and his hands were in the air. It was like a horror movie.
No, stop! Don't do that!
And then he just like takes it off. He's just beaten to a fucking
Stop! I'm
pulp.
trying to do a thing.
I'm trying to do a thing here. Yeah. He's tougher for it.
I
He's
think everybody
tougher
has
for it.
horror stories of a sibling or cousin
Friends,
or
yeah.
a cousin doing wrestling moves. Like my cousin Patrick
Mhm.
used to always fucking power bomb me onto the. My aunt
Nice.
had 3 bedrooms in her house, so there was like a spare bedroom, so like we could sleep in, and had
Yeah.
like the fucking Sega. What was it?
It's like a Genesis.
Genesis. Yeah, it was a Sega Genesis. They had a first gen, and I had the second gen. So like, my cousin had one, and we'd go there and play like MLB. We'd play like NHL and stuff, and then we'd play Golden Axe 2.
Oh, Golden
Oof.
Axe too.
Fucking Sonic.
Oh.
Those
Dude.
OG days.
Dude, we
Golden
were
Axe
sitting there
2.
playing everything. I still have a Sega Genesis, and I have the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge where you could put 2 and 3 on top and play as Knuckles in 2 and 3.
The
And it
best,
still works. I just need a controller that works.
the best Genesis
I have
game.
I have Shaq Fu as well,
Oh.
which is like Mortal Kombat.
Hold up, before we go into this, there was something else I wanted to bring up. There was also that really big black guy that had the fucking mohawk, and he
Mr.
was
T?
No, was that his name,
I don't
Mr. T?
know.
I don't know.
I mean,
He had he had a blonde mohawk, and he would come out in
Oh, and he had
giant
like
purple-
oh
Yeah,
wait,
and
he
the
had like those
dude,
whiteout
he was-
contacts.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he was like
fuck.
Oh, I
damn
know,
near a
Viscera.
rapist.
Viscera.
yeah.
His name's Viscera. He was a big fat black guy. Viscera.
Yeah,
And
but
him
his
and-
character was like a rapist.
Yeah.
It was
very
weird.
horrific.
He wore like black gloves. He was like the very, very big version of
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson.
And then that guy was in a cult for a while too. That actor played a lot of guys. Yeah, he was in a cult for a while.
He was in a cult. What
yeah,
did he do?
Like no, he was in a cult on WWF. I don't know. Like
Oh,
his name
okay.
was Midian or something like that or something. There was a whole thing. Yeah. he
Remember
was-
Sergeant Slaughter?
Yeah.
He
But
was
yeah,
in-
well, I'm
He
sorry, I
cheated
didn't
to
mean
beat the Ultimate Warrior for the title.
yeah, he did.
Fucking bastard.
remember. I seen
Goddamn Iraqi.
So my uncle, I don't know if you guys remember, Comcast used to be called Adelphia Cable.
Yeah.
They had the little black boxes. My uncle would steal pay-per-views on the little black boxes with the
Mhm.
fucking red numbers on the front, and he like stole Woodstock '99, fucking all the pay-per-views for wrestling. So we'd sit there and watch wrestling. I
Yeah.
saw titties at the age of whatever I was at fucking
I feel that.
1999.
I feel
I saw
that.
titties on fucking pay-per-view that was stolen. I was like, wow, we were stealing.
Mine
cable.
was HBO. And
He had a
I
hot
saw that.
cable in the house. They wired a hot cable into the cable so you could steal on the cable box.
It used to be so hard, man, to find like titties and like just
Scrambled
just be difficult.
fucking
Yeah.
Adelphia cable box porn was my favorite. You
Yeah.
could find the scrambled channel, like, oh my god, we can't watch this because it's scrambled. But we
I-
could kind of make out what's going on.
I feel like
We'll
I
just
grew
get
up-
off to the noises. It's fine. We're audiophiles here.
I feel like I grew up in like the time where crazy shit started popping up on TV.
Yeah.
Because I mean, whenever I was growing up, The Sopranos was huge. I mean, I remember,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know what scene it was in The Sopranos, but they're killing an old lady by smuggling her to death with a pillow, and that shook me.
Sounds like The Sopranos.
Yeah, that shook me for
Yeah.
That sent me so
years.
fucking far.
Yeah, but you would. That's how everybody at my age, found pornography the first time, because everybody had an HBO thing, because that's where comedy was. That's where all the good movies were. I mean, everything was coming out on HBO, so everybody had it. And then as a little kid, 12 o'clock, 1 a.m. comes rolling around, you check that shit out, and it's money.
Speaking of HBO late night, do you guys remember Taxi Cab Confessions? Dude, that show was so great because they would literally fuck in the back seat
Mhm.
and they'd be sitting there like talking and like they're because they're partners or like some random person they met on the street,
Yeah.
or it'd be just them and the cab driver and they just like admit like wild sexual shit they'd done.
Yeah.
I grew up with like that shit and like sex talks with the old lady at night, like super late in the night. What fucking forget her name?
I'm trying to think.
Was it like sex talk with Sue or something?
Yeah, it was.
Was that the one where she was just topless the whole time?
No. It was a really old lady, and she like
Oh my
Oh.
god.
she had people call in and like had callers.
It's
And they would
Dr.
ask-
Ruth.
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth, I
What?
think.
Oh, no,
Yeah, I
hold
need to
on.
find
I
this.
think it's Dr. Ruth. She's an old psychiatrist. Yeah, I think that's who it is.
No, it's not her.
Who is it?
Could you
Hold
imagine
on.
being in like New York and then you get picked up by a cab and it's like one of these like porno cabs?
They
When-
probably
and
give
you
you, they
just
probably
like-
give you a disclosure
Well-
first before they start.
Well, no,
recording.
you weren't having like it wasn't to have sex in the cab. It was just like they had cameras in cabs, and you would just whatever happened, they would show it.
Oh,
Like
okay,
it wasn't
okay.
like a dirty porno. You got in the cab and had to have
Well,
sex.
they're doing
yeah.
those now.
Yeah,
I saw like a little clip of like this one chick. She was all right, but it was like this little person. a
It
little
was.
midget.
no, don't midget. I really hate midgets. Like
What?
I have like a crazy phobia, and like I'm uncomfortable around them. Like I'm not.
There
Interested.
was a strip club. near
Did
the
they
base
have
that I
like
was on.
the unnaturally like sausage arms and shit like that?
Yeah.
little sausage.
It is.
fingers.
It is very weird. It's a little bit close. It's a little bit of touch of. A little touch of pedos, so
No,
I always
it's-
stayed away from it.
It's just the unnaturalness bothers me.
It does like
Like if they were just short, like which one? One's just the one that's stubby. One's stubby, like dwarf or midget, and one is like just short and small.
I think that they're. I mean, I think a dwarf is the ones where like their knees are like locked into place, and then a midget they have like
Which
they're
which-
able to move their knees.
No, there's
I just call
different-
them little people.
No, there's a difference. One of them has like sausage limbs, and
Oh,
it's
Yeah.
and it's really bothersome to me.
I've seen a whole bunch of wrestling with it. It's called
Yeah, they got
it's
midget,
called
the midget
micro wrestling.
Micro wrestling. league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that shit's
They
wild.
were
They have
nuts
like
at one
crazy
time.
ass. They have one chick that and like you could tell she's like a bad bougie chick, and she's dating this other micro wrestler, and they're raising a whole ass midget family together, and then they just go and
Yep.
wrestle at night, and they are the closest. I don't know. I don't want to say that they're doing drugs, but they're definitely recovering addicts. Like you could tell just by looking at them.
So it was Talk Sex with Sue Johansson.
I don't remember that one.
It was the really old lady.
Sue Johansson is a
Yeah.
little too close to what's his name that does the other one. To catch a predator.
It was literally Sex with Sue, and then it was Sunday night sex show, and she would talk about like people would call in and be like, "Hey, I need tips," and she would like show them how to put condoms like on dildos, like basically like how to put on a condom. Like it was basically like sex education with this really old lady late at night.
I mean, she probably knew what was up if she was that old. She was
She knew. She was
experienced,
pretty
dude.
old.
Who was watching that? That's
Brian
the
was watching
craziest
it?
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess.
I was watching it. I was a child, and I'm like, "What
And
is
he
this?"
I
has-
know,
And then
but
got
I feel
intrigued.
like what adult was watching that?
I mean, there wasn't like you didn't have the internet back then. These people had to use it. Like, I feel like that was actually like a service
But
back
even whenever I was watching it, it was like there was still internet around, so it was just like the harder
then.
version.
No, in the early
just
stuff
like-
there wasn't that on the
they
internet.
still have porno mags to this day, and it's like fucking why? Dude?
Yeah, I mean, well, they don't do Playboy. Well, Playboy doesn't do nudity anymore. I don't think they got rid of the nudity.
Really?
Yeah, I think because Hugh died and then they like sold
They
the
still
mansion.
have the mansion? Oh,
No, he
what?
sold the mansion. Yeah.
Yep, they sold it.
And it's
Pack
like
sale.
real progressive now. I mean, the magazine I guess was always kind of
Those
progressive, but like, yeah, there's no nudity, which is
Those women spread amongst society and started making OnlyFans.
yeah, you don't need it. You don't need Playboy anymore. You know what I mean? You don't need it.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
your own thing, or you got your Insta thoughts and whatever. Like, it's a
Also,
whole-
porn's free. Pornhub's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, I know.
man. Everybody's like,
But I mean,
Pornhub.
things like that sex show probably were important back in the day because like people didn't know what they were doing, and you couldn't go somewhere and
they?
like get a book. You know what I mean? Like if you had like you needed a tip or something like sexually or whatever. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm sure that Sue helped a lot of guys give a lot of good oral sex over the years. I'm guessing. You know, they didn't
Yeah.
know what the fuck they're doing just down there.
She
like,
literally like gave tips about oral and
Yeah.
everything. It
Got
was
good-
wild.
Did
you got dudes down there like gumming people's thighs and shit like that. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
gumming
down-
people's
yeah, and
thighs?
she had to tell him what to do correctly. You know, what I mean, he didn't know what to
Yeah,
do. People, that's
gumming
what they
them.
called Sue. I don't know.
Stick her falsies
I
and
thought
just
that she
gummed
took-
you to
yeah, she's
death.
No, she didn't tell you to do that. Yeah.
She's like,
See, Mike was getting ready to try that. He was like, "See, I didn't know about that." See, he was, but no, I don't think that was advice she gave.
no. But I mean,
gumming people's thighs.
Yeah.
you brought up Pornhub for a second. Did they get in trouble recently? Because they're asking for age now, which I mean, good thing that they are, but they never did that prior.
Does the
Did they get in
internet? Do they
trouble?
not know that kids can just lie?
I know it's fucked up,
People can do math.
dude. I mean, that was my savior at
But
14.
they say if you lie, though, at that point, it's on you. You didn't know before you saw the 18 thing. Like I didn't know.
Are they
read.
charging kids?
I can't read.
Probably. You got to pay more if you're under 18. You have
Sorry,
to
you
pay
can't
more.
fap at 16 anymore on the fucking Pornhub. Sorry, you gotta, tell everybody that you're over 18, like you're a half an adult.
I mean, is Pornhub the reason? Like I heard, like the studies say, like sex is like way down. Like people having sex don't have sex nearly as much as they used
Well,
to.
I mean, there's plenty of reasons.
I mean,
for
people
that.
on Pornhub obviously have sex. They're posting videos. So
yeah,
there's,
but I
like-
mean, that could be a video from times.
It's-
You know,
it's an access of porn, and also a lot of people are just staying home. Not very many people are going out like they used to.
everybody's just using Tinder to get
that's-
some ass.
yeah, yeah.
but you're still, but no, if it was the Tinder thing, you'd still be having sex. So the
most
sex
people-
numbers wouldn't go down. 'cause
Yeah,
you're still having
true, yeah.
sex.
I
Well-
feel like most people are like meeting up on those dating apps, and it's
But you're still having sex. So like, actually, people having sex is actually down.
You know-
yeah.
you know what's
but I'm just
crazy?
saying, like those. It's not the same as what it used to be, where you would actually go out to a bar and meet people. Now it's just. I feel like more people that are getting it more, and more people that aren't getting it are getting it.
Yeah, I think
less.
it's like shooting fish in the barrel now. It's
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, but that's why I don't understand why the numbers are down.
Mhm.
Doesn't make
Well,
any
it's
sense.
probably because you're on that end.
Because I'm what?
Because you're on the end where it's just like if I feel like if you were already good prior, then you're just even better now.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I guess. I
Because-
feel like, but people are just slutty, or I think I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I feel like that's also causing people to not want to be with these women.
But no,
with
it's-
that, I mean, I don't
well,
want to sound
women.
like
But
fucking
I mean,
Andrew
there's not
Tate
just like a
here.
small pool of women that are slutty. It's not like there's a bunch of prostitutes. Like I feel like just people in general are slutty. Or they put themselves out
Yeah,
there.
that's true.
More
That's
often,
true.
it's like I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's because there's a significant male population that just doesn't do shit anymore.
Just you're too busy playing video games and looking at porn up and just jerking off and
Mhm.
Yep. Dry,
feel like that- I
Dry
mean-
jerking after a nice game of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
get a couple kills and beat one off. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I
that's
got
why,
me a
that's
dub.
why
Let me rub one out.
If they come out with like a sex doll, dude, we're fucked.
That's so weird to me.
I mean, it would be extremely weird, but like I feel like once they get it perfected,
I mean, so like I don't know if you guys remember there was a show used to be on FX called Nip Tuck. Remember that show?
Yeah.
Nip tuck.
It was about a plastic surgery. It was badass. It was a drama. And there was one. She was a porn star on it, and she had to make a sex doll. And the one doctor that like worked on her fucked the sex doll, and it turned her on that she was fucking the sex doll, and then she had sex with him too. I guess that's kind of cool, like if you know the person, but like a random sex doll is weird.
Well, I mean, I feel like in the future they're going to be able to make it whatever they want. So it doesn't even have to be based off of a real person. It could be, I mean, just think about how AI is going.
Yeah.
Just continue AI with the ability to make faces.
So like the population's going away.
yeah,
we're
it's
done.
gonna be horrific. it's either gonna be that or it's like I feel like it's either going to get very conservative or very liberal here.
But
really
I
soon.
mean, just like people aren't gonna be having sex and having kids. Like it's gonna be a whole thing.
It's gonna be
like,
a problem, and then I feel like it's gonna.
I mean, we're
swing.
pretty much overpopulated as it is.
I actually feel like the pendulum on this is swinging, and like right now it's all the way over here, where like people are just staying home. They're not really doing anything. I mean, I've done that myself, and then now it's swinging back. And like people are gonna start opening up because I mean like, and I feel like a large part of it is like, dude, there might still be people from the pandemic that are still fucking trapped in that shit. I mean, it got me for like a year and a half.
Did it really?
Yeah, dude.
They got
No,
so
I
used to
was-
being inside, they don't want to go out.
Yeah.
I hate going out anymore.
Dude, there was a point where like I just sat there and I was like, dude, I've only done like going out like 5 times this year. Holy fuck.
Man, when that pandemic hit and those sons of bitches were trying to tell me what to fucking do, like I don't even like to go places, and I was like, I'm gonna go across the line to Ohio and play pickup basketball. Fuck you and your masks. Fuck, don't tell me what to do. And it turned out like you needed to get the immunities, like, and the reason
Yeah, exactly.
and the reason people were dying is because we're a fat society,
Mhm.
and no one could
Hey,
say
man.
it.
Hey.
That's the truth. It's the truth. Like our society's super unhealthy as Americans, and you weren't allowed to say it. You had to say wear a mask, stop spread. Like go take a walk in the park.
Mhm.
Like don't sit home with your mask on and eat a bag of Cheetos. It's not going to help you fight the pandemic.
Yeah, and I feel like it took, in my opinion, it took the science way too fucking long to figure that out. And in my opinion, I feel like they never actually came out and said that. People just had to discover that. You know, like it took me. Like I said, it took me. I mean, I think in 2020, I was one of those people that stayed home. You know, I didn't go around people. And then 2021 came around, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing, dude?"
I
Like,
literally went like the majority of the pandemic not getting COVID, and then I go to the psych ward one fucking time in Youngstown. Okay, they give me a goddamn roommate at 3 a.m. Okay, fucking 3 a.m.
that's how you caught COVID.
No, listen. They brought this man in. He didn't shower the whole fucking time he was there. He had no change of clothes. He didn't, like I said, he didn't shower, so he stunk. He fucking
Joe Biden's America, right?
he had sleep. Listen,
Yeah.
he was an older dude. He had sleep apnea, and like it was just fucking wild. And I caught COVID from him. I woke up the day I was getting discharged. My back hurt.
Dude,
my
that
throat
first
hurt. My head hurt.
that first hit of COVID, that first hit of Rona sucks. I mean,
Oh, it fucked me up.
maybe you're a little bit better than I was,
No, it
but dude,
fucked me
I
up.
was fucked.
No, it got me bad for like a week. It fucked me up real bad. Actually, like, so I went to the ER because I didn't think I had it, and like they ran a bunch of tests, and like my heart rate was 68 beats a minute, and people would be like, "Hey, like you're in really good shape." Like I'm like, "Listen, my heart rate's 20 beats a minute faster than usual." She's like, "No, for someone your age," and I was like, first off, that's insulting. You know, I'm in good shape regardless. But yeah, I'm like, it's 20 beats too fast, and they're like, "Well, we can't find anything wrong with you." Pump me through a bunch of fluids and sent me home and said it's probably COVID. 4 days later, I got the results back. Didn't say it was COVID. And then after insurance, they charged me $1,600.
Jesus fuck.
I wrote a bunch of letters, and they ended up waiving the fee though. I fought it.
Yeah, I did a take it home. Why are they fucking making you pay?
But
What year was this?
It was like 2020.
Dude, that's fucking disgusting.
But the thing was, so like it was because it was an ER visit, and my insurance doesn't pay full price on your visit. But I couldn't go to my doctor because I called my doctor like, we have a COVID symptom, you can't come here. So they sent me to the ER because it was a COVID symptom.
Yeah, you should have been like, what if I don't pay? They're just gonna roll you straight into a old people's home.
So
Brandon in a wheelchair. They're just gonna throw him in the bad bin.
All right.
So like when I went to write the letter to argue with him, like my cousins like write the letter. Like he works with the EPA, like he's really into that kind of stuff. Like he deals with these things all the time, these bureaucracies.
Mhm.
And I wrote this scathing letter about how like if I wanted a compliment for $600, I just pay a prostitute and this and that. And he's like, you can't mail that in if you don't want to pay this money. Like you can't be doing that. And then he rewrote it for me very diligently and well done. And
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean,
did you
I
a service.
I had written up as I have $600. I want to call. I'll just buy a prostitute. A couple of them probably. You know what I mean?
Actually, a lot if you're on Mill Street in
I would've-
Newcastle.
He knows the economy, dude. He's been
He
there.
knows the exact
I would've-
price. He's
I
like,
would've
this is the
used-
price. This is what we're going for.
I would have used that COVID money.
the
Use
vid
that
money.
COVID money.
The
I don't know.
stimmies.
Well, that's like what was it? The one musician, not Dave Grohl. In the Dave Grohl vein, like they were interviewing him, and he said he had to leave the interview because he had to go meet up with a prostitute. And the guy's like, dude, you're like, no. Who's the guy that also did tattoos? Dated Carmen Electra? Dave Navarro. It was Dave Navarro.
Yeah.
And Neil Strauss, the dude, the pickup artist guy, and he writes for Rolling Stone. He's interviewing him for this article, and Dave Grohl, or oh my God, what's his name again? I forgot it already. Dave Navarro. Dave Navarro goes, I gotta leave. I gotta meet this prostitute. And Neil Strauss is like, dude, you're like a rock star. Like, why are you meeting a prostitute? Like, you could just go on the street and get a girl. And he's like, I'm not paying him for the sex. I'm paying him for to leave. And I was like, that is amazing.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's a nice little loophole.
Yeah,
That's
I was
great.
like
It's the
that.
most Jewish loophole.
Yeah,
ever.
he's like,
You
he's
don't want to
like,
spend the money? Here's your loophole.
I can
buddy.
have sex with anybody I want,
Get
but
that
they
man on Wall Street right now.
they
Put him on the
don't
top.
they don't always leave willingly. So I need this professional to have sex with me and then go away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was craziness.
Oh,
Yeah.
was gonna-
fuck.
Ugh, I feel like Barbie Bad Bitch.
What?
No, I feel like Barbie Bad Bitch would be sitting there like, I ain't leaving for shit.
Oh wait, you mean that girl from like the
that's-
Catch Me Outside girl?
That's who I think of.
That's
Whenever I
Bad
think
Baby.
of prostitutes, I just
Cash Me Outside.
automatically
I
think
don't-
of her.
I don't think she's a prostitute, is she?
She's not a prostitute. She had an OnlyFans. She did.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
She might be the closest. Like that was if you want to. There
She
has
was
to be
a
a
ploy.
timeline
She was a
of
ploy.
prostitution,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's it. We saw the early versions of the timeline of prostitution, and if Dr. Phil didn't get her famous, she would have 110% been.
You know what's crazy? Like the prostitution thing, like the U.S., like people were paying like for sex, but like if it's in like Japan or something like that, you're like they have these clubs where you go meet
The lady boys.
No, I wasn't going that direction. That was the Philippines. No, they have like these like social
There's
clubs,
more than just the Philippines.
and like
okay?
you just go and you buy drinks, but
Philippines.
it's just for like the communication. Like they're paying for like the social interaction because they don't do any like social stuff in Japan, so they're literally paying.
They're just
someone
paying somebody for
just,
their time to
just
talk.
to talk to me. They're not
Yeah.
paying for sex;
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
paying to talk to him because like the infrastructure of what you want from a female is different in Japan versus it is in the U.S. Like, although I guess it could be changing here because people are just playing Call of Duty and jerking off, so maybe you don't pay
Yep.
for that anymore
Mhm.
either. I don't know.
That's a laugh, brother.
Well, now they're.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think there's brothels in Canada, right? Like
What the-
legal
I don't-
brothels.
I don't
are
know.
in Canada.
Germany,
Probably there's
maybe?
brothels in Mexico too.
There's brothels everywhere.
There's brothels in
Also, what?
Vegas, not outside of Vegas, the Bunny Ranch or whatever.
Yeah, the Bunny Ranch. Yeah,
Did you-
that's Alaska, I thought.
No, it's in Vegas. It's
Oh,
not.
is
It's outside of Vegas. It's in Nevada.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I've heard this story that
The
like
Bunny Ranch.
those Bangkok ladyboys got into a giant gang fight with a whole
What?
bunch of transgendered chicks.
Well, they're like, where's the real lady boys? No,
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't they both transgender?
They're both lady
Yeah, but
boys.
I guess that like the culture around it is different, and they got into like a legitimate fist fight about it. It was like a gang of 10 versus a gang of 10, and they just went at it, dude.
So it's more of a slap fight.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You know how many videos I've seen of
Also-
people getting lady boys and not realizing they're dudes? They're like, oh god, it's a dude.
I mean, that's like a whole.
and then like
genre in
somebody,
itself.
there's another one. There's like somebody that comes by and is like, hey, that's a guy, and they're like, oh fuck, and then, like leave. It's so great.
So, so,
Womp womp.
so I wouldn't say he's a coworker of mine. He works for the same company as me, but he like delivers the tires. Like he is marrying a woman from the Philippines. He got a mail order bride. Like he's went over and met her and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so like it was like 4 years ago we found out about it. So like of course I did a lot of research on it because I could research. And apparently
You didn't know.
the Philippines is the best place to like get a mail order bride. However, you have to be careful because there are a lot of ladyboys there. They do
Yep.
look feminine, so you need to be careful what you get. But he flew over to the Philippines and like hung out there and stuff like that. I mean, he sends her money too, which I don't really like. I mean, hopefully he's not listening. I'm not trying
What
to.
are
air
they
his
called?
laundry,
What are
but-
they called? Cucks? That's not a cuck. What?
No, cucks are when like no, dude.
A cuck is it like that?
Who's the
someone's
ones that send money?
No, cucks are like where
That's
they
a
want.
pay pig.
like-
No, it's not a fuck.
That's what they call it.
Listen, I don't know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
sugar daddy.
But the sugar daddy, but no, that's because you have sex with your sugar daddy.
Sugar dads.
But the cucks are like, let's say like you have a wife and you want someone else
Yeah,
to
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
your wife, you want to
and watch it and like,
which-
sit there and like,
which
get off to
weirds
it.
me out to know. Like I don't understand that. Like, and I mean everybody's kink. I'm not gonna judge
Yeah, I
someone's
mean-
kink, I guess, but like, why would you want to watch some dude rail your wife? Like, I don't understand it.
Some people were fucking weird, dude.
But like,
mean-
I mean,
I mean, maybe if they like grew up like with porn and like watching other women get railed out, and he's like, dude, I can watch like it's a POV.
He just went too far down the porn hole. And
Now he's
getting
a porn hole. It's not a rabbit hole. It's a porn hole. Come on down. We got it all.
I mean, honestly, like if anybody listens to this and they're like, "Hey, I'm a cuck, and you want to come on and explain to me like your
dude,
your
can we
mindset,
get a cuck on here?
please come."
What if they're like, we're a cuck, and
Dude.
I want you to fuck my wife?
Dude, I'm not even joking. I don't want to fuck with the dude's wife, but like I want to talk to him and like get their opinion because like it's so foreign to me. I don't understand like why.
Basically, just sit there and like talk to them and like understand why why they're into that and why it gets them off in the way.
Yeah, and I'd ask him like so many questions. Like I wouldn't even judge him. Like I just want to know like why.
And
you're
like,
into...
I have questions that need fucking answers.
Yeah, we'll give you a Kanye mask. We'll give you all that.
We'll give you a fucking
I feel...
Ronald Reagan mask, and you can talk to it. It's whatever.
I feel like though, if you're like really into it, like you'd own it, you'd want to be on camera. Like you're not gonna hide from your kink.
I feel like they're gonna try and hide from it.
They would use it to fucking
Because
advertise. I was like,
do you
come fuck my wife.
want to know why I think that?
Why?
It's because I automatically think that those are like high businessmen.
Maybe.
That's what I always hear, is that like high businessmen.
I mean,
really
if they
into
want to
that
blur
kind
out
of
their
shit.
face, so, like that's cool. But I mean, I seriously like.
That's why I mean, just like the Kanye mask.
Yeah, like
Like a
blacked out
ski
fucking-
mask.
Yeah, like, or
the Kanye
like
mask.
I mean, I hope like we get an audience and someone will come on and talk about it because like I have like legitimate questions. Like I don't understand. It's like
Questions I need answers.
like yeah, like and I ask them like respectfully because like I mean everybody has their own thing. Like I'm not judging you or whatever, but like I could
Or just send us an email.
no, I want to talk to
with your story.
No,
just so we can read over.
I mean,
the story.
I'll read it all
At
like
minimum.
I'll
Put
read
it
it.
right in the spam folder.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'll
Not
read
the
it.
spam.
I'll read it all like
Spam.
Wilford Brimley like and shit like
Wilford
that.
Brimley.
But like I would like
Betos.
to ask him questions. Yeah. I mean, I would like to be like, hey, dude, like, explain what your thing is. Like, I mean, because a lot of these guys apparently, like, their wives are like super hot and stuff like that. It's like, why are you?
It's so the basically, as I understand, they call it a cuckold, and then they have like a hot wife situation. It's kind of like similar, but I don't understand either. Like they consider their wife a hot wife, which they like sit there and they'll watch dudes like rail out their wife and or join in. And then there's like cuckolds that just sit
Dude,
there and watch.
I've seen one where this bitch was a monster.
Reddit's
dude.
a wild place.
Like she was a whale, a trailer whale, dude.
Trailer
she
park
was cucking.
whale.
She was cucking her husband, and it was like her husband was like clearly not all about it. Oh, dude,
He said,
I
"I'm
wish
so
I could find
sorry."
I wish I could like know the article so I could send it.
I don't want
And
to
like
see it.
she was just like she
I'm
was
so
just like,
lost.
yeah, sometimes I like to bring home a guy, and then he
Rail him out in front
he
of
just
my
has to
husband.
sit there and watch. I mean, he's really
He
into
sits,
it.
he sits in
And
the
then,
corner
like-
on a beanbag chair.
Yeah, she's sitting there. She's like, yeah, he's really into it, and it like cuts to the husband. He's like, yeah,
It's like
okay.
crying,
I'm,
masturbating with his tears.
Like I don't.
I'm kind of like it
Kinda
really
not my
it
thing.
bothers me, but I'm not gonna say no, I really love her. It's
You know,
just- it's a
I love the woman, but I like watching her fuck other dudes. It's
Although I bet like if like that's your mindset, like you're not owning it and being sad, you are kind of like because that's your thing. You're sad about it, but you don't like yourself. Like you're not gonna be like, yeah, I like to watch this dude rail my wife. It turns me on. Now you're like sad about your life
Well,
anyway.
I was
feel
gonna
like
say
it's
maybe I feel like it's a little bit of both. So
Yeah.
it might be those low self-esteem guys that just get trapped by a horrible woman,
Well, here's what I
or
think too.
it's just a dude that is. I mean, it might be a fucking Vince McMahon out there, and he just wants to see a chick get airtight.
There's also dudes out there that want to see their wife, like they're not well endowed and they want to see their wife with a bigger.
Yeah,
that
I've,
too,
I've
that
heard
too.
about
They're
that
like,
too.
wow, I just want to see what it's like. So that's like another part of like the hot wife cuckolding thing, I guess.
That and I also feel like they would video it. So like, I feel like it's gonna get videotaped. Like I feel like if you're in the situation,
like
of
I
that,
said,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
like
they're gonna
if somebody was going to like, be
they're
like,
gonna
hey,
make
dude,
you.
yeah,
they're gonna make you
you-
record it.
you're
Yeah.
gonna get your little butthole
Record it
out
for
there
like their
somewhere.
personal
Yeah.
personal
Yeah.
pleasure.
I mean, I'm sure they probably would on that. Yeah. People are into like weird shit. Like and also like I don't know like if it's like a new thing. Like people just like hate themselves so much now, or maybe they've always hated themselves.
There's a lot of
No,
people.
that's just. I mean,
There's a lot of people into CNC, like
Yeah.
consent, non-consent
Yeah.
stuff, and like
what the fuck is that?
consent, non-consent. Like you
What's
guys, it's
Consent, non-consent.
So basically, it's like a rape scenario.
Yeah. Like
There's a lot of people into CNC, which is consent, non-consent, and there's a lot of people into like you said, cuckolding and like hot wifing
Dude.
and like random shit. Like there's a lot of kinks out there, and it's like crazy to like take
yeah,
in at once.
I'm
You're
with
like,
you, dude.
fuck.
Like, and I'm a little older, and I was with a chick, and she told me to rape her and wanted me to choke her and shit like that. And I was like, this is not for me. Like, this is not my thing.
I've been with
speaking
women that liked it like rough.
Yeah, like,
And
I don't
fuck,
get
like,
it.
They want me to like choke them out almost and like fucking really give it to them.
I
and I'm
mean-
like, I don't want to hurt you.
I guess in reality though, like if I think about that and like to think about the person that I was with, like She actually like went back to like an ex, and like the ex had beat her before, and she went back to the dude to hit her. So maybe it was just like a physical thing. She's like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, you want me to rape you or choke you, and this dude like hits you and bruised you up, and you're gonna go back to him. Like,
They
it's
read
like,
those smut novels and they get fucking ideas.
Dude,
to be honest,
Speaking of weird ass fucking kinks, did you guys see that fucking Nickelodeon shit with how much feet shit that there is, and I just never noticed it?
yeah, he had a foot fetish. That's
Was-
why.
is that
dude,
like-
that's whole part.
Have you ever seen that shit?
I
off
heard
the
a little
set
bit
thing.
about it. I don't understand the feet thing.
Drake Bell got touched, and like the dude that owned Nickelodeon at the
But,
time
like-
was doing the shows. He had a foot fetish, and that's why there were so many feet.
Is that
jokes.
confirmed? Like, do you think that it was a foot fetish, or do you think that like our society now has just become so sexualized that we see anything as a kink, or do you think that it was like, I don't know, normal? I mean, there was definitely a lot of fucking scenes in that it was very fucking weird. But
the
do
dude?
you think?
Like seriously, if you watch Off the Set, like the Nickelodeon documentary, they talk about.
I saw
it,
like the first couple episodes.
The dude had a foot fetish. He was into feet, and like the one, I forget who it was. Britney Spears' sister was on Zoe.
Jamie Lynn. Yeah.
Jamie Lynn. She was on Zoe 101 or wherever it was. Got her pregnant, and her child looks just like Dan Schneider.
Ooh.
Like he got her pregnant, and then
The owner of the Redskins.
Ooh.
no,
The Redskins?
Yeah, it's the team name. I'm not going back on that.
no, it's a different dude. He did a whole bunch of Nickelodeon shit.
Who owns the Redskins?
It used to be Daniel Snyder. He owned the Washington Redskins. They changed the name to the Washington Generals.
Yeah,
Even though now there's a thing where like some Native American thing wants them to change it back. They say it's disrespectful to take the name away from Redskins because the Redskin guy was like a real guy, and like he was like disrespecting by changing
It's
the name.
so fucking stupid. That shit.
yeah, but they were there's all the allegations of like that shit. Like Amanda Bynes had to get a fucking abortion, and they made a baby joke on the Amanda Show.
Really?
Yeah, about having a baby shortly after she had.
And
to
that
get an
shit
abortion.
fucked
She had to
her
get
up.
an abortion?
Yeah, they made her get an
That's
abortion.
wild.
She,
I
you
didn't
should
know
see,
about this.
if you go on TikTok, look up Amanda Bynes and see what she looks like now. She's like wild, but it's like comedic wild.
It's crazy because like that was the show that I grew up with.
yeah,
Was
it's
that-
lobster time.
that and like it was like the slime. It was like 5 of them, and they would like slime and do like jokes the entire time. I don't remember. It was like all that or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, they did a whole bunch of random skits. It was like a child's version
Mhm.
of SNL
I don't.
without
Ye-
musical guests.
But I mean, this has been going on forever. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm a little like. You guys remember that Corey Feldman? Like, he said all these people were like.
Yeah,
raping
he
people.
was- he
Like,
was a
Who's
it's-
that?
he's
back
a
in-
child actor, and like his best friend died. He was a child actor too, and he said all these people like raping like powerful people.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like
Macaulay Culkin was touched. They tried giving him like fucking crack
But,
when he
like-
was after the first Home Alone because he had money and he took a fucking taxi ride with like a higher up
Yeah.
and they offered him crack. He's like, no.
And like when Corey Feldman came out with it, like people just shit on him. They made fun of him. Although he did have that horrible music video that was like on the Today Show.
He tours.
But like I feel like the shit he was saying was like legitimate, and just like
I
you have
believe
that,
it.
and you have that shit with like P Diddy and shit like that now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean that
Oh my
shit's
God.
going on. Like, I mean it's just wild. Although I do have I have a question about thing, and I asked Mac who was here the other week about this. Like, it weirds me out. He's like, supposedly P Diddy was like fucking Meek Mill,
Yeah.
and like I
Yeah.
was looking up, and like I don't understand how P Diddy would be the one doing the pounding because Meek Mill is like 6'4". He's like a big dude. P Diddy's built like me.
Pete Diddy's not a giver. He's a receiver.
Okay, P Diddy's taking it.
He's a bad boy. Yeah, get
See,
it?
no, I was under the
I mean,
impression
P.
P Diddy
Diddy
was.
There is a video
He
of
was
Meek-
always a little bit flamboyant.
There is a video of Meek Mill on the internet rapping, and Pete Diddy gives him this look when he said he was fucking a bad bitch because it's Bad Boy Entertainment. And he was like, I was fucking this bad bitch, and then he like P Diddy like looked up at him. It was like fucking. It was about P Diddy.
Dude, do you
So P Diddy was taking it then.
Yeah, P Diddy takes it. Also, P Diddy was linked
That's
to the
awesome.
whole Biggie Smalls shit and Tupac.
He was having sex with one of them.
did he
No,
kill
no, no, no.
Biggie?
They-
Is that what
he-
you're saying?
He had it all set up because Bad Boy Entertainment he wanted to take over with Bad Boy Entertainment, and Biggie was getting bigger, and he set up a hit on him through Bad Boy Entertainment. Same thing with Tupac.
Yeah, but
And
why
Suge
didn't
Knight.
Jay-Z ever get involved?
Jay-Z they wanted to put Jay-Z was involved, but he's part of the whole P Diddy thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Was
Jay-Z
he fucking someone?
No. Jay-Z's not fucking someone. He was part of that,
Yeah, well, I
and
think
he is
was part of the
he is
same
also the reason why Beyonce is so big.
Mm-hmm.
Because he put a baby in her.
He had a lot. He had a. Okay, remember the one singer Aaliyah?
Yeah,
She
she
got-
was so hot.
She
oh
got
my
in that
god.
plane crash.
Yeah.
That was to make Jay-Z set that up basically to get Beyonce bigger.
You're
'Cause
saying they killed Aaliyah.
it was set up.
So
Aaliyah was
I-
so hot, and that vampire movie she was in. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Oh my god.
I think that the whole P Diddy shit. I think that it's pretty much just I think it's the musical entertainment side of the same shit that what's his name Epstein was doing. I feel like this is the same. I feel like this web is much bigger, and we just found 2 parts of the web.
This shit weirds me out. When you have all like you can get whatever you want, like in the same with like the Bill Cosby things. Like the Bill Cosby could have fucked whatever he wanted. Like why are you drugging people out, bro?
Yeah.
Like
Bill Cosby.
I don't get I don't get it. I mean I don't
Perhaps.
like you can get what you want. Like why are you? Is this just like power thing or whatever? Like and like the Deshaun Watson massage thing was weird too, because like he was
massage thing. Who's this?
Deshaun Watson, the guy for the you don't remember this? So he was a Texans quarterback. He got in all kinds of sexual harassment charges, and the Browns signed him. Of course they did. And but like so like he was like doing these like online things for people to come do massages. Now they weren't actually massage therapists. And he tried to or did have sex with all these women, and people were like, "Well, this is weird. Like he's sexually harassing women." But I'm like, listen, if you don't have a massage license, you're coming to give this dude a massage. Like, I mean, some of the things are like expected. And I guess he wore like a small towel so you could see his penis and shit like that. There was a whole thing.
Say his pecker.
But like my thing, but like I think the thing was like he got off on those women like he wanted them to want him during the massage. It wasn't like he couldn't get one because he was a pro athlete. Has like now he's $250 million contract. Like he's doing fine. He could pay for him to go away if he wanted. But he wanted them to want him. Like that was the thing. Like he wanted. Like
he craved the attention.
Like that was his kink. He wanted them to do the massage and like see his dick and like want him because of that. Like I think that was his kink. Because like he could have bought whatever he wanted. Like he was. I mean he had a ton of money before the $250 million from the Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also looks like a dirtbag. If you ever like Google him sometime, he looks like a dirtbag.
Yeah, I have no idea what he looks like.
Well, I was gonna say the whole P Diddy thing too. There's a video of his neighbors pulling out of the driveway while there's fucking reporters at his house, and he was like, "Yeah, there's busloads of fucking little girls that get fucking brought here every night and shit.
Yeah,
they're
I heard
in and
about
out
that.
nonstop." And he also the girl he adopted looks exactly similar to a girl that went missing, and she had the same last name as the girl that went missing, with Combs added to it, and the same first name.
I mean, I really think that like, have you ever done a deep dive on the whole Epstein shit? It's really fucked. But have you ever done it?
I believe it.
So
there's Pizzagate.
Pizzagate's bullshit.
Pizzagate
That was just
shit. Isn't that like
that's some
isn't
bullshit.
that like
That's garbage.
vampire politician?
Yeah,
kinda
and then they
shit?
shot
Drinking
up like
the
an
blood of
actual.
children. and
Yeah,
stuff.
they shot up like that. They actually like shot up a pizza, but there wasn't anybody that owned it. It was like because they thought it's like some incels or shit like that. And again, I'm a Republican for God's sake, and I'm like, this is garbage. It makes me embarrassed for my party. Like people read this shit, and like there's that they were like child molestation. There's nothing going on.
So they busted a pizza.
They busted into a
place.
pizza place that thought was like a figurehead for like some kind of child sex trafficking thing.
Yeah, they
It
were doing-
wasn't.
Did they catch that at the pizza place?
They were. It's like all the higher ups, like fucking actors and shit. And they talk about eating a pizza, and they talk about
But-
like certain pizzas is like it's code for like little boy or.
But it
little
wasn't.
girl
It
or-
wasn't. It wasn't an actual place. They just fucked up this whole place, and like I think people either got killed or hurt when they did it. It was bullshit. Like, I mean, people read too much shit and then they get worked up nowadays, and it's crazy. I mean, like, yes, this stuff's going on, but like, I mean, you gotta know for sure. Like, I mean, you can't just be doing shit like that. Like, you gotta.
If you could just imagine, like you're the most powerful people in the world, and it's like, yeah, man, you gotta go down to Phil's fucking pizzeria and you gotta order a Kid Supreme.
Dude,
like, what was the fucking background story to that? How were they getting in?
So here's my suggestion, my reason where this is coming from. If this is actually what's going, which I think it's bullshit.
Mhm.
In the '80s, there was a movie, and I forget the name of it, but like the guy that played like McDreamy on like oh my god, what's the doctor show that does all the people? I don't know. Patrick Dempsey's the guy's name. He's an actor, and he played this kid. He was a kid at the time. He was like trying to make money, in the '80s to buy a car or something like that, and he was delivering pizzas, and that was his thing. It's a comedy. And but if they asked for extra anchovies, Patrick Dempsey would go and have sex with these older women. That was his thing. And then it climaxed. Like his mom was was getting a divorce from his dad, and he heard about this service, so she called and asked for extra anchovies, and Patrick Dempsey went to the room where his mom was at. It was hijinks and shit. But anyway, like if these older people were watching that movie and knew about, that would make sense why you'd go to the pizza place, get extra anchovies, get yourself a child to fuck.
I pulled up the
That's
Pizzagate
weird.
stuff.
That's wild.
By the way,
Pizza Pete.
Pizzagate is from it's a conspiracy theory that went viral during 2016 United States presidential election when Hillary Clinton was in. So basically, it was claiming the New York City Police Department had discovered a pedophile ring linked to members of the Democratic Party while searching throughout Anthony Weiner's emails. It has been exclusively discredited by a wide range of organizations, including Washington, D.C. police. And the place was called Comet Pizza, and they were supposedly diddling kids in the basement and all this other stuff.
And
It had to do with personal email accounts of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton, and a bunch of
Like
other
they
people.
actually linked her email accounts there.
Yeah, Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria in Washington D.C.
But if I remember correctly, they didn't even have a basement in this pizza place.
Oh, so
Like this was just bullshit. It was just all horrible bullshit.
Yeah, they have a whole. It's all on Wikipedia. They have like a whole
Isn't-
section that's like debunked.
Yeah,
and shit
like-
also,
that.
isn't this the thing that like kicked off the whole QAnon shit?
Probably.
I always hear the
yeah,
two
there
in
was some of that.
conjunction.
All that stuff drives me crazy. Like, I mean, people are just so fucking intellectually lazy now.
Yeah.
And like, it's harder now because like, yes, all the information's out there, but all the bullshit information's out there too. So like, when I was growing up, my dad, Bob, the namesake, that you tried to take the name away.
You tried to steal it from us,
Tried to
fucker.
steal, once again, Bob Kish aggrieved by you trying to change the name of his podcast. Told me, John, listen, people are lazy. You just have to be the first liar in. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dad? He's like,
That's true.
first liar in theory. If you lie, people are too lazy to fact check you. And for a little bit, people
That sounded like you got very close to something. Never mind. Go ahead.
get very close to what?
Never mind. Go ahead. We'll rewind it
If
later.
you lie, people are too lazy to fact check you. But then the internet came along, and you could fact check people with your phone. And in the beginning, it was pretty easy to do, and you could be like, "This is bullshit." But now you fact check people. There's every side of the story that you want to paint, and like you can lie about shit. So pretty soon with AI, like I could hurt someone and be like, "Listen, I wasn't there. It was someone has out some give me. It was AI. I didn't do it or whatever. I didn't say that."
It wasn't me, baby.
Like the first liar in theory is going to come back with a vengeance in about 5 years with AI.
Yeah, AI is going to be horrific and like, dude, you're not going to be able to tell who's saying who. I mean, you're going to have politicians, and it's going to look legit. I mean, but in all reality, it only takes one person to say that was AI for a bunch of people to start questioning it. So you're going to have a lot of people like questioning if videos are even real in the future.
But it's gray area though. Like you can't defend it. You know what I mean? Like it's the thing. It's gray area. And then are you going to get rid of like innocent until proven guilty? Because it's going to be people's argument.
It is going to be. I don't fucking know.
Which,
it's just going to be weird. Evidence is going to be so weird.
Oh my god! And that Supreme Court decision is going to be so bad with
What's
the Trump
Supreme
thing.
Court?
The Trump thing, with like him not being responsible because he's the president. Like he has complete power and shit like that.
Yeah, is that?
Oh my god! That's that. I mean, I don't think they can do it.
So from my understanding, it seems like they're about to come out with like the conclusion, and this isn't my fucking opinion. This is just what I've heard, that apparently they're like really close to convicting him,
No, they're not.
supposedly. But now the idea is, well, I guess because of the gag order shit, right?
I mean, so like they should my dad's a big Republican
Mhm.
too, and he's like, it's bullshit that they're gagging him. I'm like, it's not bullshit that they're gagging him because these people he's on trial with jurors, and like their opinion can be changed. He shouldn't be able to say shit.
Yeah.
Because like that's the whole point of like you want them to be impartial, and it's harder to find impartial people. Like so, his mouth should be shut. You know what I mean? But like that's what they're arguing about that. But no, the Supreme Court thing is like, he was arguing that he could have done all these things and he could have paid the bribe for Stormy Daniels because he was president and like he had to do it for national security and shit like that. So that he's arguing the president should have autonomous power across the
That's
thing.
what I've heard.
And so like I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna like line item things you can't do. Like, oh, you can't do this, and it'll be a weird thing. You can't pay off a prostitute. It'll be like a weird like little line item. But but they pushed it back enough so like the decision's not going to come out till after the election. So Trump's going to be able to run for president, even though like all this is on there. The justice literally pushed it back far enough that it's not going to be.
I think my favorite part about this whole trial happening is that they agree that what he did for paying off a prostitute was not illegal, but it was only illegal because he put that it was for campaign contributions or some shit.
It
So
was
like
for,
we found
charity.
out. We found out unobligedly through the loopholes that you could pay off prostitutes as
You could
not
start a
you
tab
could you
and
could
then
pay
them
them
off later.
you could pay them to shut up, which is so
Hush
that's
money.
like the new
It's just
fucking
hush
loophole
money.
of prostitution.
Just hush money, man.
Because like that's what they're getting at is
but-
that like if he would have just openly said it, then it was legal.
But the whole thing about it is like it wasn't that because Stormy Daniels, while a porn star, was not a prostitute because the prostitutes don't talk. That's what you pay them for. He had to pay Stormy Daniels hush money because she wasn't a prostitute.
Exactly.
Like if he would have just got a prostitute, she would have went about her business, and she would have went
Nothing
away.
would have ever happened.
Yeah.
She would have been
like,
gone.
like Hunter Biden
Bah.
banging prostitutes. And listen, like
I
Blooming
think you
lines,
think
banging
they're you think
dimes.
they're setting up that little old
Here-
man up there?
here's the thing.
Let me get
I
a
mean-
little smell, a little sniff there.
Let me get a little bit of that line and sniffing it.
Check out my hairy legs.
Check out my legs, baby.
I like Hunter Biden. I get like, listen, if I
We're
found,
talking about Hunter.
yeah,
now.
not Joe. Joe, we're not talking about Hunter Biden was sniffing coke, not little girls, but
Yeah, it was
different
snorting
sniffing.
lines, blowing dimes.
Still using the family nostril just for different things. But Hunter Biden like got all this money and like he didn't claim it for taxes. Like if I filed a satchel of $5 million, I ain't claiming that shit either. And if Bob Kish was president and I had a lot of power because I was close to Bob Kish and I was 28, probably banging prostitutes and doing coke too. Just saying, all that access to power at that age, I don't fault him for it. And hiding money from the government, God bless you, you fucking should. They get enough.
Well, yeah.
Taxation is theft, brother.
Yeah. Every year I pay taxes. One year when I owned a business, Pennsylvania said I owed them taxes, and the business lost money. Lost money, but Pennsylvania needs some money from me. I had to find it.
Fuck them. Fuck the man.
that's kind of how taxes work.
Not if you lose money. Like I legit lost money.
Yeah, he lost it. It's gone.
And
Poof.
Pennsylvania's like, we need to tax you on your losses.
Electronically gone.
Like-
yeah, but that's not like you still operated for a year straight.
If you
Even if you weren't making that money,
if you lose money,
we're not.
if
we're not
you
gonna
lose
talk
money
about,
and
like,
you don't make
tax
any
fraud.
earnings, you shouldn't be taxed. Because you're not taxing, you tax earnings.
Can't
Just
tax,
sounds like-
you can't just tax nothing that's there.
Yeah, but they found
They
a way in
can
the
tax his
Keystone.
dick.
In the Commonwealth, they found a way.
Yeah, that's true.
I
It's
hate
the Commonwealth. They know.
I
they
hate
know what they're
Pennsylvania so much. It's such a joke.
doing. Pennsylvania.
Like it's such a joke. Second highest gas tax in America.
Yep.
Hey, at least we're able
fix the
pump our
roads.
own gas.
they're good.
I'll take pumping my own gas over anything else. I'll pay a fucking 12% fucking tax so I could pump my own.
I'd rather
fucking
go to New
gas.
Jersey and let them pump and give me a break.
It's
Get that Arabic
just
guy
as
out there, have
bad
him
in
pump it.
Jersey. In Jersey, it's corrupt. So in Jersey, everything is like if you wanted to, let's say you ran a business out there, the ability for you to get your license or liquor license to run that business significantly harder than Pennsylvania because everything's corrupt. Everything's got an extra buy-in on the back end.
But I'm not buying in. Like I'm just trying to get cheap gas.
Everybody
but
wants
I'm
cheap
just saying.
gas, especially when you drive a fucking rice cooker.
Yeah,
at
I
the
don't
one of those
care, like-
Jatmobiles.
Listen, there's some mafia. I don't care if they want to do backroom deals. That's fine. It doesn't affect me. I mean, that's how the world is. That's how it was made. You don't think there's backroom deals everywhere?
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing. Like, let's not pretend that things are perfect. Like,
I'm just saying it's worse. It's really bad. It's openly talked about. Though.
I respect it if it's openly talked about. Like, don't hide your bullshit. Tell me the truth. Like, I don't need to lie. People lie to me. Tell me that if you're gonna steal from me, let me know up front. I mean, like, I'm gonna trick you and say like I'm gonna give you consumption tax. No, tell me you're gonna steal from me, and I'll respect you for telling me.
Just tell me you're stealing my money without telling me you're stealing my money.
No, tell me directly. You'd be like, "Listen, I'm gonna take this tax, and you're not going to get anything for it. Like you can take it.
Shit.
We're gonna tax you for the roads. The turnpike's gonna be shit.
John's about to start.
Well,
the
here's the thing too.
revolution.
Fun fact: the turnpike is privately owned by somebody else that's not from Pennsylvania.
But that's what the taxes are supposed to go to.
They're supposed to go. They're supposed to they're supposed to get all the toll money basically from the fucking toll roads,
And they're
it
supposed
goes
to use it.
it goes to this private party that owns the fucking
Yeah,
turnpike.
and they don't use it on that. They
No,
don't use it on that.
they don't use it on anything.
They'll use it on stupid shit, and then you have these small government, trying to think of like just government entities where like if they don't use up all their money, they won't let it go until the next year. So instead of like, being a normal fucking government agent, you're supposed to, you're saving the taxpayer money. Instead, they just throw a bunch of stupid fucking like pizza parties.
Oh, yeah, they
and,
got-
like, super expensive shit so that they're able to just throw out this money so they're able to get a renew on their
Yeah.
shit.
Here, guys,
next
here's
year.
this pizza party so you don't start a union.
They ain't ever given the money back. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and these whole pizza parties thing, that is a tax write-off for that
we
fucking
I worked at Honda and we got Chick-fil-A fucking
Chick-fil-A.
catered.
That's awesome.
So good, dude.
It's the Prestons, man. They got the money.
They
They put money into the walking trail in Pearson Park and they have like all these fucking dealerships.
You got
Yeah.
those Sunday haters coming straight to your job.
I actually played an indoor soccer game and got a yellow card for hip checking Bobby Preston, so I know him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was my boss.
He
At
seems
Honda.
like a pretty nice guy. Like I actually like.
He owns like Honda, BMW, Volkswagen,
Listen,
Hyundai and
and
Boardman.
Toyota. I got my Toyota from Newcastle, Preston Toyota. I love
I was
it.
gonna say Preston Toyota is actually owned by his dad and his uncle.
I love Preston Toyota. Rick Ferrari's the guy.
Maybe-
He's my guy.
Also,
Maybe let's not talk about a specific.
I'm
guy.
talking. Listen, no, like listen, like you
he's
can
a cool dude. He's not a bad dude.
You can record this because Preston Toyota, I have nothing but glowing things to say.
They were a good employer.
Rick
They were a
Ferrari
good
was
employer.
fantastic.
Rick Ferrari.
That's his real name.
Yeah, I know Rick.
He's a fucking hustler. I love him. He's an old school salesman.
Fuck yeah.
He sold me 2 cars, dude. When I first went, I'll tell a story because Rick's a fucking G, and it's just compliments to him. Like I go into him, he looks just like an '80s salesperson, just like you'd picture from a movie. And I'm looking to buy a new car, and he's like, "Listen, John, like we don't have it. COVID things like I think you should buy this 2019. Like it's got like 19,000 miles on it, but like." You know, then once we get a new one, you can trade it in and get a new car. Like
Yeah.
he's literally setting up making 2 sales, playing with me, and I'm like, I know what's going on, but I bought it because I wanted the hybrid.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, I traded in for a 2023 and did exactly what he wanted, and I'm very happy because Rick Ferrari is a G. I mean, he has so much energy. He might be doing cocaine. I don't know what he's doing, but I love him.
He's hyper.
I hope he sells cars forever. He's like, if anyone listens to this needs to go and see him personally. I love Rick Ferrari.
I think he still works at Toyota.
Yeah, he does. President Toyota. I bought my car from this year. Like I love Rick.
I got my
This dude's name
Corolla
is
from there. and
Actually,
then-
Rick Ferrari.
Rick, that's
Yeah.
his name. He is the man. Like
Dude, he's awesome.
I love him so much. Like, and I mean, we don't have to cut it because it's just glowing about how
Yeah.
awesome he is. And again, he seems a little shady, which I fucking love. Like, I want my
The
car
name
guy to
itself
seem
is
shady.
fucking shady.
Like, I love him to death, and like, but he's not shady. Like, he seems to give a shit. Like, and he's awesome. Like, when I got my car oil changed, like he met me there. Like, he's just a cool guy. Like,
He came over and like talked to you and stuff.
yeah, like he knew that I was coming, and like he's just a cool guy. Like Rick Ferrari is the man. Like I don't know how old he is. He's probably like getting close to 70. But if you need a
said
car,
his name 100 times.
yeah, you know
Cool.
what?
We're name dropping here.
I will because again, like you say, you got to cut that. I'm not gonna cut it. Like,
It's good service.
and listen, this
You're
is
happy with your
this
service.
is free advertisement.
We're not talking about how I got fired from 4-star.
No, we're not. I'm talking about
Okay.
I'm talking about the 3 people that are probably listening to us. Go buy a car from him.
Yeah, do it.
Like yeah,
Go buy a car.
from Rick Ferrari.
Do it.
Tell
If they're
him,
in this area.
tell him Breakfast with Bob sent you.
Tell
If
him
they're
the
in
guy
this
sent
area.
you.
if you're not in this area, drive from Pittsburgh. It's worth the drive.
When I worked at Honda, there was a lot of people that actually came from Pittsburgh to buy cars and like Erie and stuff
Yeah.
because they didn't have the car they wanted in their area, and we had them. And that's where I bought
So
my
it is
car.
a lot of places.
That's where I bought my car, and it's a manual. And they didn't have many manuals on the lot. They had 3. My car and 2 other cars in the same color, and we had 1 other manual, and it was the new Type R, and that was in the showroom. And you had to put $1,000 down just to fucking test drive it because it had horsepower.
Yeah.
It's not that fucking fast. I drove it to the gas station and back. It wasn't that bad.
Hmm.
It felt like me driving.
Did you
my
get your
Sport.
$1,000 back?
I didn't have to. I was
Oh.
in detail at the time.
Okay.
No, I was a tech, and the kids in detail couldn't drive manual, so they had me take it over. And I was like, "You want me to take it over?" I was like, I'm not responsible." I was like, "Don't trust me." They're like, "Oh, we trust you." I'm like, "Cool, let's
You're
do
like,
it."
you don't know me
They're
very
like,
well.
They're like, "You drive customer cars all day that are manual, so you're good." I said, "Okay, cool." So they give me this 350 something horsepower vehicle to take over to the gas station, and that's why they want you to put the fucking money down because
Yeah.
it's the horsepower. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's not that crazy. It's like
Mhm.
driving my Civic Sport. It's literally the same engine, just non-turboed, and I get like almost 200 horsepower, and it's about the same as the Type R.
I don't know shit about vehicles.
I
dog.
can't drive a manual either.
He's talking wizardry right now.
I had to learn when I worked there because I was in detail and we had to take customer cars through after they were done getting worked on.
Hmm.
Like that was a requirement of the
Yeah.
job. They taught me on an old Dodge truck that had a burnout clutch, and I said, "Why are you teaching me on a burnout clutch?"
Because they didn't want you to ruin it, yeah.
Then
Yeah.
they gave me a WRX cylinder that has stage 3 clutch, and those things are very touchy. And when you pull out from the pedal, it caught weird, and I stalled it every time.
But Preston, Preston's awesome. Like, I have nothing bad to say about him.
Like I said, it was a great employer. I
They-
liked working there.
And you haven't liked anyone you've worked for, so that's a glowing
Yeah,
recommendation.
that's
I liked a couple places. A couple.
I've liked everywhere I've worked.
I've had a.
I loved
Had a
Honda.
rough time.
Honda was a fun time. I worked at the outlets for a little bit at Old Navy. I worked
Everybody's
there.
worked
I went
at the
from
outlets from here.
I went from Old Navy. That was my first job, and then I went to Preston. I started out detailing, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to be a tech?" And then I moved up to Quick Lube, and I started working on cars.
Yeah.
I did that for like 6 years.
Like, my first job, like, I feel we haven't talked about this. Like, I picked strawberries. That was my first job.
What?
Yeah.
What? Well, you were you were slaving out
Working
there.
out there in the
So-
field.
So this would have been like 1998, probably 97.
1765.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And my buddy comes. He's like, "Listen, we have a job prospect for you." Like, and he's like real professional, right?
Mhm.
And we're into 16. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. He's like, meet me at McDonald's. I wanted to suggest this job opportunity.
That's
The
a
job
rough-
venture was
That's
McDonald's.
a rough start for meet me at McDonald's. We're gonna
Meet me
get
at
you
the
something
Donald's,
better
brother.
than McDonald's.
So no, wasn't to work there. It was to have
Meet
a
me at your
meal.
place of employment to get something better.
It was to have a meal and discuss his plan
His plan.
for how much money I can
They
make
took you as a cheap
picking
date.
berries. So he was gonna buy me a meal, and he was gonna lay out how much money I can make picking strawberries.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
And
Got into a pyramid scheme.
No, like no. I mean, you got like I don't know for like a little pint of strawberries, you made like 50 cents, whatever. Like it's
A little pint. What's a pint?
I don't know. It's like a little green. I'm not.
A pint is like 12 ounces.
Yeah, it's not very much.
Okay.
And you got so like you had to get up there at 6 in the morning, and I didn't want to do that. But like he told me I was gonna make like hundreds of dollars, and I didn't. I didn't make hardly anything because I just slept in the field. It was horrible.
You slept in the
Yes,
field?
I did. I slept in the field. I picked like maybe 4 pints, and then like so
He was
I
living
actually,
that hard
This is
life.
what happens whenever you put the whites on the
that's right. That's right. That's
They
right.
take too long and they take fucking naps. Don't do it.
Listen, bring
What's
them.
John trying to fucking throw out here, dude?
John says I was a slave for a while.
No.
I was picking berries from
Listen,
master.
bring
He said,
all.
Yes'm, master.
I'm saying.
That's where
saying,
Yes'm came from in the Discord, by the way.
I'm saying bring all the Mexicans in. White people don't want
Bad
to do
bin.
that work.
Right
they,
in the bad
they
bin.
don't
want
to do that work.
Right to Mike. Bad
They don't want to
bin.
do that work. But I actually at my dad's house, I still have 2 paychecks. One's for $1 and one's for like $2.
Mhm.
So like I could tell people how hard it was back in the day to make money.
I made that.
I mean, it wasn't hard because I slept in the field. But actually, I was I was
if
so
you
terrible
only
at
had
the
to grab
job.
like a little pint thing this big. How hard is it to pick strawberries?
I mean,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
it's not very hard at all. It's easy, but it's just a pain in the ass.
Did you sneak any out? Did you
No, I probably ate a couple.
copping
But
some?
like my buddy that pitched the idea at McDonald's, he used to like fill the bottom with rocks because he's an asshole. And
Bottom of the rocks, rest with berries. He
Yeah.
took the money and ran.
and then but like I was so terrible at it, they actually like paid me to mow their lawn instead. Like,
mow
yeah,
the
they-
grass.
yeah, they're like, you don't need to pick strawberries.
They
anymore.
said you're so bad. We need you to mow.
you need to stop sleeping in the field. We'll just have you. We'll pay like 20
Well,
bucks
did they
to mow.
catch you?
They said, go on.
They didn't care because you were paid by how much you picked. They didn't give a shit.
They were just like, this guy's out here just
Because
hanging them
Out here
sleeping
diddy
'em on
bopping in the field,
strawberries.
sticking naps.
Because basically, like, you could come pick your own strawberries. Like, you can bring your kids to pick your own strawberries, but some people don't want to pick strawberries. So you pick pints for people that, don't want to pick strawberries, and then they would
John's
sell
the
'em.
strawberry patch
His boss
kid.
goes, I ain't paying this boy to take naps.
I had that job, and then I worked at the Gap and Reebok, and then I was a lifeguard. Lifeguarding was the best job.
Got to
What?
save people.
Yeah,
I have one save
Dude,
in my life.
You know what I've been seeing a lot on like fucking TikTok? Apparently like lifeguards, they have like this weird ass skin and they look like robots. Did they teach you some like weird ass shit to look like a robot?
No.
No.
What you talking
Are you talking about the fucking viral TikTok with the lady that's like,
Where the lady is just like,
how can I help you?
yeah.
I think she was
She
just-
looks like a robot.
She was fucking around. I
No.
think.
The only thing I remember,
Or she
like,
was just stoned out of her
probably
fucking
stoned.
mind.
Appearance-wise
She
for
was
lifeguards, like,
fucking blitzed.
they used to have those sandals that had like the one thing came from your big toe and across, and like you'd always get like a sandal tan. as
A
lifeguards.
sandal tan?
Yeah,
A
you
toe
would-
tan.
like a tan around your toes.
I
yeah.
have Puma slides and like ones that go across your foot, and we were at the Outer Banks, and I was walking around the beach, and I had them on because I was fishing, and I had the fucking strap tan, and I said,
Mhm.
"What the
Yep.
fuck is this?"
Yeah, the lifeguard foot tan is just like the PennDOT worker, like tan. I was also a PennDOT worker for a year too. I turned the sign.
Visor
Oh
tan.
my god.
He was a sign man.
That was a good time.
He said, "Here's your sign."
Are these
Dude,
the
I almost
only-
got hit by some crazy old lady, like in like the Boondocks, like Lakeview area. Blew through the sign, some back roads. About hit
What?
me. Yeah, she wasn't paying attention. She was old, and she was like back roads. We were doing work, and I had this like stop sign up, and just.
I
about hit
heard that
me.
shit pays good as fuck.
It paid pretty well, yeah.
I heard they pay like what, 20 an hour just to hang
I mean, I think it
out?
was like 17 back in the day, but it was like 2001, so 2002.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, I was raking it in, yeah. We had to get up early, but it was made a bunch of money.
You probably get really fucking bored though.
I mean, you just sign like I would roll my sleeves up and like I had like a tan, like I was all about getting a tan, and like it was funny because like the dudes that worked there was a chick that worked there too, and they made
Mhm.
fun of me because they said the chick was manlier than me because I was too worried about getting a tan. I had like sun into my hair and like sunglasses and shit like that. Although that was like I met a guy there and he like had his wife.
Did you have to help with anything else? Or did you
Nah,
just
bro,
hang
I just
out?
hit the side. I wasn't doing shit, dude. I was like flexing my arms and getting tan, like that was all I was doing.
He's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, baby, check out these guns."
yeah. Show that old lady. She
He's
wasn't
fucking
impressed.
flexing for old ladies. He's
Then she
like,
tried to hit me. She wasn't impressed. Different kind of hit. It wasn't the kind of hit that I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
not the kind that I wanted
Yeah,
to.
it was the kind that was gonna hurt me. Yeah, break a pelvis. It
Just
wasn't
trying to
hurt.
jump
Wasn't hurt.
Too
She
fast.
fucking shifted her hip to her like, "Oh
Yeah,
God, my
fuck yeah, in
pelvis."
that car. But yeah, it was fun though. And then some dude like he came in like he worked on the crew. He was like an actual worker,
Mhm.
and he came in all belled up because like I guess he had like the vasectomy or whatever, but like it didn't work, and like he already
Ooh.
had 4 kids, so he was banging out another kid, and he was like all depressed about how it didn't work. And I was like, that's why
How
I
do you
would.
fuck up a vasectomy?
You can still have a kid with that, doesn't? Yeah,
Really?
because they can
You
undo
could
it.
still
I
ejaculate.
thought they like tie off like.
No,
your
you can
shit.
still. Well, listen, this dude had another one.
They
That's
probably
wild.
didn't
Do your
snip them
balls-
right.
Do your balls shrivel up?
No.
if you do that?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with like you can still have all the sex you
They
want.
they snipped the line. There's
I know,
okay.
but don't your balls get all fucked
I
up?
don't think
No.
so.
Your
I
balls.
mean,
are
balls
fine.
are different sizes anyway.
They just snipped the tube in there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the fast difference, but
'Cause,
that's where
like,
it goes.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything that would mess with that down there. Like I'd like
Mhm.
I like that working correctly.
Yeah.
And then, dude, that's a rough call. Imagine doing that, and then like, I don't know, you're with somebody, and then you're with
Like,
somebody way better than them later on in your life. And you're
Like, oh, no, I
man, I
want
could have had
kids,
kids with
yeah.
you.
Like no, I
That
don't
would
want
suck.
like I don't want any children, but like I don't want to mess up anything down there.
hmm
Yeah, that weirds me out. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's only fucking people do that. Where we're like, yeah, we had enough kids. You're just gonna
Yeah.
clock this one out.
Banging them out. It's religious people that should do it, but the religious people won't do it because they have like 9 kids. You know, just banging it away.
I worked with a guy at Honda. He had 1 kid and then got a vasectomy. He got
That's
snapped.
tough, dude. That's putting all
He didn't
of
want
your
any more.
eggs in
he
one
He
basket.
just wanted 1. He's like, I just want 1.
That's
and his
tough,
wife
dude.
agreed. And his wife and him were like high school sweethearts. And they've only been with each other. They've
That
never
kid's
been-
gonna be a
they've-
fentanyl addict.
they've never no.
Put all
he's-
of his hopes and dreams. in
No,
that
no,
one
he's
kid.
he's older. He's in his 40s. He's
Turning
been working.
around.
He's been working at Honda for a bit.
Probably killing it.
I know him from working there. And he's got 1 kid, and his wife's got a photography business. She does it. They bought like a shed from Home Depot, like one of the big ones, and she uses that for the photography studio. And I was like walls put up and like backdrops and stuff like that. She does stuff there. She does like on-site stuff. He's a cool dude. He was like, they both agreed. They've only been with each other the whole time. Nobody else. They only know each other. That's
I think
it.
that's awesome. Like I'm envious of people that way. Like obviously, like didn't work for me, but like I mean, that's cool. Like if you find your person, like that's cool.
They nerd out together and stuff like that too. Like they'll play World of Warcraft together and stuff.
Yeah, because they
and
like all the same stuff. They like
Yeah.
being together. Like my aunt and uncle were that way. Like I think they've only
they
been
got like
together.
a lot of stuff in common.
And they've been married for like 37 years. They both retired. They spend all their time together,
Yeah.
and like they just seem super happy. And it's like something you'd see in like a fucking movie and shit like that. It's crazy. Like I'm super envious of that. Like I mean, didn't happen to me. But like I said, like it'd be awesome if it did. Like I'm not even judging it, you know.
Yeah, you could just find somebody that you literally click with like that, and you're like, hey, we have all this shit in common, and we can sit there and talk for hours and
Yep.
not want to be apart from each other.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool, and we can spend all our time together.
Yeah.
Like it's you know.
It's hard to find that sometimes.
I mean, like if I wouldn't see it, I wouldn't think it's real.
I just
Yeah.
think it would be hilarious to like.
It'd be happening. You're like,
envision it.
wow, this fucking isn't real at all.
I would just think it'd be hilarious to just envision it like the other way around, where like the father just hates the kid, and he's just like, "Listen, you're the only fucking shot we got. All right,
You're the last
fucking.
hope.
You're 16 years old. You need to get out of the house. You need to get a job. You need to figure it the fuck out." Because I'm struggling here with one
dude,
kid.
I'm
he's just
struggling,
putting-
brother.
He's
Hey.
putting way too much pressure on this one kid. He's kicking him out at 16.
Listen. If we get I'm an only child. DK will tell you he lived that nightmare with me. Oh my God.
Oh, really?
He hated me for so long. Like I didn't work, and like my mom like would give me whatever because I'm an only child, and she had lupus, and she was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I would want something, or I would like total a car, and he would get mad and bitch about it, and she would be like, "Why don't you go back to fucking work?" and just tell him to go back to work. And he was like trying to fucking
Really
reprimand
told him what was up.
She really did. She fucking yelled at him all over the place. She was trying to reprimand me, and like with school, she wasn't having it, dude. And then like he just fucking accepted it because she was sick, you know. And then I remember like I moved down south, got the job, then I lost the job and got unemployment on it, and like I was living in his house, making like $600 a week from South Carolina on unemployment, not going to work, and he was working 7 hours a week, just fuming, thinking about what a deadbeat piece of shit I was, just getting madder and
He was
madder
so
and madder.
mad.
And like the only bill I had was a fucking phone bill, so I'm getting $600 a week on a phone bill, getting up at noon, fucking after night of drinking and working out, eating like meatball sub every day from Sheets, and he's just madder and madder and madder.
Meatball sub
Listen,
from
you
Sheetz
little-
just
listen,
made my
you little
stomach
pig.
gurgle.
It was so good back in the day.
Listen, you little piece of shit. I'm trying to get a PS5. You're really fucking me here.
You're fucking up my groove.
But then, like, so he'd get real mad about it. But then I was like, listen, Dad, where am I going to find, like, in work that I'm going to make as much money as I'm making on unemployment? It doesn't make sense. Like, you're an engineer. Like, you get it. Run the numbers. And he begrudgingly had to accept that I was a deadbeat, but a smart deadbeat.
That's good. That's
Yeah, like, because he
That's always a plus.
Well, he'd
Make
bitch
him the
about
best
it.
out of a bad
He'd bitch
situation.
about it, and he'd be like, well, yeah. But, I mean, I collected unemployment for 99 weeks.
$99.
Yeah.
That's not.
It was during the housing
That's not
crisis
the-
crash.
Oh, brother, actually, that's horrific.
Yeah.
99 weeks. How long is that?
It's over like a year and a half. No,
This is 2008?
2008 to middle 2009, yeah.
Jesus.
And I took trips, just collected my money.
I tried to file for unemployment once, and it was right whenever I moved here because I
Yeah.
got laid off. And I found out that if you just come from a different state, they do not give two shits about you.
Nope.
Yep. I was like,
You're on the back burner.
yep. I was like, oh yeah, I just moved to this state. I worked for 4 months and I got laid off, and that was kind of like my only thing. And they were like, well, you've only been working in the state of PA for a month, 4 months. You ain't getting shit.
No
And I
money
was just
for
like,
you.
But it was
cool.
It was cool when I did it, though. You know, unemployment cheating the system that I'm bitching about paying taxes on. Yeah, let's go.
John's
Fucking
the
paying
hypocrite
out
of
them
the-
taxes.
Let's
hypocrite of the year right now.
Let's roll it back. Well, that was years ago. But I got it in South Carolina, and then the housing crisis, and they had all the crazy programs. So like the federal just took over it.
Mhm.
So it was from South Carolina, and the federal just carried it. I actually stopped getting it because like this is gonna be sound how old I am. Like I didn't want them to give me a card because I didn't want them to have my information. So that's when they used to send me a check. I was like, I don't want you to not stop sending me a check. I don't want you to have.
I don't
my-
want a debit card.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want you to have my account access. I'm not.
I don't
interested.
want
Why?
you
What
tracking
were you
my
afraid of?
spending
I thought the government might get into my account. I didn't want them in there.
and track your spending. Be like, what's he
And what were they
spending
gonna
money
do?
on?
They could take money out. I don't want so when I do my stuff, like I don't use my bank. I write a check, even to pay my taxes. Now I write a check. I won't give them access to
Really?
it. Yeah.
Oh, I always give them access. I'm like, yep, you could just drop that right in there.
Well,
please.
they're not dropping anything for me. They're taking.
Well, I mean, how long? How many years have you been doing that for?
I have paid taxes for 12 straight years.
So you've. However, this year mine got smaller,
Good old
and I was
property
very
tax.
upset about it.
Property tax. I'm not even counting property taxes, bro.
Oh,
That's
shit.
$2,700 a year that I have to pay no matter what. I'm never going to my house. The worst part
God
of the property
damn,
tax.
you must have a lot of fucking
I got
land.
like 3 acres. No, I'm in Mercer in like Lackawanna Town.
Is it on a corner?
No.
No. All right. I've noticed that if you're on a corner property, you have to pay more in taxes because you're technically paying for two accesses. You're
No.
two parts of a public road,
I
so
actually
they make it higher.
No, I have a shared driveway, so that's not accurate for that anyway.
Okay.
But
I have a public alley that wraps around my house and goes back out to the side street.
so
You own your house?
My dad does.
And how much of taxes does he pay?
I don't even know, to be
All right,
honest.
never mind.
not a problem you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our property's not that big either. So like we have the front yard and like a decent sized backyard, but we just
Also,
park
are
in
you-
the backyard.
Also, are you in a town? Because I also noticed that if you're really close to a school district, it also brings up your.
No, I'm in the country. I'm in East Lackawanna. Like I'm about
Why is
7
yours 2
7
miles?
miles.
That's so much.
So
That's
2,700 really isn't that much. Like the if you live in the borough, Mercer, it's like a little over 3. It's more in the borough.
Oh yeah, you're in that weird ass spots. For some reason.
He's in the in between.
Yeah, no. For some reason, out in Mercer, your taxes are stupid fucking. And I think it's because you guys are the
County seat.
county town.
We have- our courthouse is badass. I'm just
Yeah,
it's way
It's
better
huge.
than
It's right in the middle.
It's so cool.
Right by the
Yeah, because
Shias.
I was looking at houses in Mercer, and like all of their taxes are like 2,000, and then if you go up north, they're also about 2,000. But if you go down south, everything's 1,000.
Yeah.
So I don't know why in that area taxes are stupid fucking high.
Yeah, and my cousin who inherited his dad's house out near like it's outside Lake Tonkin, like Amish country, $600 a year in taxes. So like it really doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
to things.
They probably tax it by the per capita, like how many people are in that county.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They probably raise it up more if there's more in that
Yeah,
county.
it definitely depends on your township.
Yeah.
Too.
But then if you live in like the city of Pittsburgh, you'd be paying $13,000 a year in taxes. You know, if you're like New Jersey, you're paying tens of thousands of dollars. Like it's
like
just
big cities are ridiculous.
And I mean, like I don't know, like I mean, yes, I got unemployment. I don't know what else you get for it. Like I don't know, the roads are shit around me. Like I don't know. Like and like when COVID hit, like my kids failed like 7 classes together, so I had to spend $700 in credit recovery to get them back. So like I wasn't getting education there because they put them all at home. It's like I don't know, whatever. But taxes like taxes are taxes. You got to pay them as much as I hate them. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to get crusty about it. I just like writing this check, and I guess I could take more money out every month, but like I like to pay it once a year so I can continue to keep that hatred alive for how terrible they are. I like to fuel the hate fire.
Got to keep the dream alive.
John's gonna be that like little rebel in like 10 years.
I'm not, no.
Whenever shit goes bad, he's gonna be the anti.
No.
You're gonna have to pay him in bottle caps.
No.
Yeah.
If shit goes bad, like I just want to die. Like I don't want to rebuild.
You just want to be the first
Like,
person hit by a nuke.
like people used to tell me like
We're too far out for that, dude. Nuke's not gonna hit us.
people.
Me
But no,
fucker.
but people used to be like when The Walking Dead was big, like would you survive a zombie apocalypse? I was like, I probably have the tools, but take me first. Like I don't want to do it. I don't want to rebuild civilization.
I feel like most people, the reason why they're like really like that is just because like it would change a lot of like people's lifestyle that don't live like that. And I mean, obviously they're not going to just pick it up on a fucking whim.
Like
Yeah.
doomsday prepping.
Yeah. Like
People, so there's a lot of people
I
that
feel
don't know how to fish or
yeah,
actually go
it's-
out and forage for food.
it's I feel like a lot of people are preying on fucking apocalypses because they want to live a more
There's a
like,
lot of doomsday
free
preppers.
life. They don't want to worry about fucking rent. And I think that's why people want or like that's why every 10 years you got people like, oh yeah, the whole society is going to collapse. This is going to be the end of the world. And I feel like they just the rent's too high.
Yeah,
Rate's too goddamn high.
Yeah.
If you lower rent, dude,
It's too damn high.
less people are going to be in like end of the world cults. There's going to be a lot less of that.
Yeah, when society falls apart though, and you got to fight for food, the rent probably was a better issue than like having to fight someone for food.
For some
or
of these,
something like that.
maybe, but for some of these people, dude, I mean, if you're lost in the sauce and you're not doing anything fun for yourself,
Lost
dude,
in the sauce.
what's the point of that kind of life if you're just working a 9 to 5? You're not really doing much, you know.
I feel like that person though is probably not winning the fight with the savage guy though. Like they're getting
Yeah,
their
I mean-
ass kicked. Like their life isn't getting better in the apocalypse. They may have this dream that they're
I'm
gonna win
not
a fight.
saying it's accurate,
Okay.
but I'm saying that's probably what a lot of
Like
people.
I'm
are
gonna win a
doing.
fight with this guy that goes out and hunts all the time and has like a
Mhm.
dark beard and is like and you're not gonna beat that guy because you have a 9 to 5 job and you're soft. Like that guy's going to fuck you up.
There's a lot of people that don't know how to start a fire either.
Yeah.
The only reason that I would ever want to survive any sort of apocalypse is because I just want to be like, I want to be the bearer of actual history, so I don't have to like. I feel like after some shit like that would happen, people would twist history, and I would just keep it like normal.
I mean,
That's
people,
the only thing to me. That's like the most important thing. Like if society were to break down, I just want the history of what we know to go on. That's
people
all
have
I
been
care
twisting
about.
history for years. It's not.
Very
I
true.
know, but that's why
Yeah.
I feel like it's getting worse as time goes along.
Oh, it's only gonna get worse.
and if there's a giant catastrophe,
Only way is down, brother.
yeah, they're just gonna imagine if like a Nazi was the guy that survived, and then like you just
I
have
did
that
not
running into the
see
future.
that coming.
I'm just saying, like, you know,
I mean, it is.
maybe
really-
a communist
It
makes
is interesting to think about that. And I remember like when the guys that did Game of Thrones like crash landed the plane. That series ended terribly. Like HBO. had a-
Game of Thrones, crash landing planes. Are you
They-
talking about Lost?
the ending. They ended the series so terribly. They
Oh,
they
okay.
couldn't land the plane. They crashed.
Mhm.
The ending was so terrible. Ruined the whole series.
Crashed into the side of a cliff.
Yeah, it was like such a good show, and like the ending was so bad. Like I regret watching it. Because that's how bad it was.
I didn't think it was that bad.
The only person that I would have not accepted, like sitting on the throne, got the fucking throne. Dude, who's
Bullshit.
taking too much LSD and having visions. Fuck that dude.
Bull
Like,
pucky.
you get fucking cripple on the throne.
Fucking acid
please.
dropper. Come
Put
on,
John,
man.
put Jon Snow on the throne and his
Damn
and his
dirty
wolf.
hippies.
But no,
Well, I think that was the point. Is because they made him to be so much of the good guy, he had to go back up.
but you
north.
didn't need that guy. But anyway, my point wasn't about the Game of Thrones because I don't care about it.
It was
anymore.
a side quest.
The guys,
Mhm.
the two guys that like did the Game of Thrones, like they had a contract with the HBO to make a new series about like what happens if the South won the Civil War, and it got so much feedback they didn't make it because that would have been like a crazy thing to think about.
What if the South won?
One, yeah, because
The
they were going to make
Confederacy.
a series about that.
Mhm.
That was what they were supposed to make next.
Well, it's also really weird to think about if the South won, because if the South won, you are talking about throwing a Nazi style like the South was almost on the verge of being fascist in the 1870s. When did that happen?
I don't know.
What?
When did
Slavery?
No, when did the Civil War happen?
Civil War?
Because the South I mean, there was no reason for those soldiers to like really fight, because like even though yes it was about slavery, it was really just about the rich people making more money. So they were just fighting for kind of a fascist ideology where the government just wanted to protect the rich people. They didn't really care about the poor
The Civil War was in April 9th. It's went from April 12th of 1861 until April 9th of 1865.
But what I'm trying to say is like slavery was going to go away eventually. It was only a matter of time. So them holding on to it, it just would have been a horrific like time in history. And then the entirety of the United States, if the Union would have failed at that moment, who was to say that the South wouldn't have another civil war, or the North wouldn't have another civil war. That's why it was so important for the Union to try and hold on.
But I mean, it would be an interesting, sliding doors thing to think about, though. Like
Yeah,
butterflies like that. So, you know what I mean?
It would be horrific.
yeah.
Do you know that there's towns in like Argentina where like the Southerners ran off to? So they have horse shows, and they have like the Southern rebel flag everywhere in Argentina.
Really?
Maybe it's not Argentina, maybe it's Brazil. But like a lot of the Southerners that were like really hardcore, just like the Nazis, they just ran to South America. They also were like, once, I think that they had like in their plans that they were going to expand into the South if they kept being a country.
The rebel flag always confused me.
Why?
Like, because like, why do they keep? I mean, I guess like you can support like a loser if you want. There's Browns fans and stuff like that. You can keep waving your Browns flag, but like you lost, bro. Like, put the flag
very
down.
weird. I mean, I hold on to like keeping onto it for like historical shit, but like I don't think that like government entities should be flying it like South Carolina, where they had it on top of their fucking state building. That was wild.
That was-
they're
did-
literally they were part of the Confederacy.
Did you
Yeah,
know-
but I mean,
it was
they
the
were- they
Union
were the
versus
first-
the Confederates.
Yeah,
So
South Carolina was the leader of the Confederacy.
So I lived down there. I think around the time they took it down. And so the crazy thing is like they lost their mind about it. And
Mhm.
South Carolina was like Columbia. It was in Columbia. That's the capital. And the Capitol building. I don't know if either of you guys have ever been to Columbia, South Carolina.
Mhm.
Capitol building's real small.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle of downtown, and it's surrounded by big ass buildings. So like you really can't see the Confederate flag
Mhm.
because it's the smallest building in that area. So they took it down and stuck it right out by the sidewalk in the front.
Mm.
So they actually made the sign more prevalent after all the bitching.
Yeah.
And they only did it because they were worried about getting black recruits for college football. It was ridiculous.
Well, I mean, like it should be a part of the history, but I mean, the modern government should not be holding it up,
I mean,
because it's a little bit like saying like they were the rebels,
Yeah.
you know? They weren't the United States government. The United States government is what survived.
I guess I don't really care as long as like there's no militia, because like you shouldn't tear down
Went out there
statues
and
or whatever, because
shot
like
the racism out of them.
but like you shouldn't tear down statues. Like you shouldn't just whitewash your history or whatever. Like it's like, when there was stuff like with Penn State and Joe Paterno was involved in that thing, and like the kids, like there was a thing with that, and then they stole wins from Joe Paterno. Those wins still happened. Everybody was there. You're not going to erase history. Yes, he has less wins, but like the people that play those games know who won the game. Like we can't whitewash history. It happened. Like don't hide from it. It's ridiculous in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean there's definitely the idea of taking down like great people from our history, like our presidents and our founding fathers, and people just need to understand like the times are different, and like yeah, slavery is horrific. Like nobody's denying that, but they grew up with that. Like before that, they would just murder people like it was normal. I mean, the further back you go in history, our society is just more and more barbaric.
I mean, I'd be willing to pay a white person to hang around my house and do work for me. I could live there. Doesn't have to be a black person. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I have a little bit of expendable money. I'm not opposed to it. Doesn't have to be a black person. I mean, I like the idea of someone helping around the house. I mean, my stepkids certainly don't.
Well, the thing was, it's not. Doesn't matter what race they were. It's just that you weren't paying them.
I'm not paying, and I guess that's why my stepkids don't do shit, because I'm not paying them.
Which is horrific, because that shit still fucking happens in the prison system in the United States. Dude, they get paid $1 an hour for whatever they do, and they're forced to work it. I mean, that's technically
That's
a
how we get our
version of
license
slavery.
plates,
But they are.
Yeah,
Those worked out real well. Ask the toll booth.
right?
I heard a
Why?
rumor that the reason the paint didn't last, 'cause someone was peeing in the stuff.
Really?
That's the rumor that I heard.
I
yeah.
believe it.
Yeah, and that cost the state so much money. I loved every bit of it. I loved it because we had to do toll roads. We had to fire all these
Yeah.
people that were working there. Yeah.
They were having like a plate trade in downtown one day, and I was like, I'm not trading my plate for another one. I'll keep my fucking plate number I have. Just
You're like,
send
I
me a
like-
new one of
What
that.
happened? Because I just got new plates. So what's
They
this thing?
flaked off and people they couldn't see
Yeah,
them. So
like mine just started. The clear coat fucking just popped off. Like
So,
if you
like-
went through a car
But
wash
they-
too much and it got
Yeah.
blasted, it just tore your shit off.
They did it right then and there, which was something I've never seen before.
yeah, they
where-
literally you traded your plate and they give you a new one. You got to basically they changed on your registration.
because they were
Yeah, they
losing
just-
money
they-
like crazy.
Yeah.
They stamped it out right there.
Yeah.
Like they had a whole machine ready
Because
to
they
go.
were bleeding money because the turnpike.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
you could drive through Turnpike and they don't have humans to work
Still-
there.
still
So
privately
if you don't
owned.
have if you don't have like a Easy Pass,
Mhm.
you're not paying the Turnpike toll because they can't scan your license plate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not effectively
They
scanning
had
it,
to
so
do
they
it.
can't charge you. And people were like beating the toll system.
Like we have the highest Turnpike in the world, and we lost
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of money because they made these license plates poorly, and they got rid of human beings.
I was gonna say too, there were people
Yeah,
taking
that's-
sticky letters and putting them over the existing ones and making them reflective, so they couldn't scan their license plate.
That's also the problem is that they fucking I absolutely hate going on to toll services because 90% of the time it's all Easy Pass. Now they don't even do a fucking cash, let alone if they do
It's
exact
just
change.
all Easy Pass.
well,
now.
if you don't have an Easy Pass, you're paying double. I mean, get the fucking Easy Pass. If you use it once a year,
Yeah.
you're paying double.
Mhm.
If you
Yeah,
do
but
the
I
toll
thought that
by
you had
plate,
to,
it's
like-
more.
I thought that you had to put money on it.
No,
No.
it bills you. So
Yeah,
basically,
just
it'll
bills your credit
put
card.
it on a tab, and you just pay it.
Yeah,
Okay.
off your
so if
card.
you're gonna use the toll even for like 2 times, you get the fucking Easy Pass.
Also,
Yeah.
they should just allow people to fucking use cards there. That's so stupid.
It just double charges you, and then once you are ready to pay it, you can pay
Yeah,
it.
they charge you more to charge you for drive-through. It's more.
Yeah, I know it's so stupid. Like that. That's the one way that they're. Let's just make it as complicated as possible so people pay more. And that happens with every organization that gets too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the government's too bad.
Right now,
yeah.
they're doing that with our fucking subscriptions. They're doing that with
They doubled.
fucking
They doubled the red one.
the red one,
The red
the
one.
the big N.
Yeah, the big end.
I love
The big red end.
I love Netflix.
They caught on to people on people's accounts not using it on the same
Yeah, they
IP
won't- they won't
address.
Dude, that sucks.
They
because
blocked
now-
my account on my PS5 because I'm on my sister's account, but we're
Mhm.
not on the same IP address.
Yeah, they
They
won't.
track that shit now.
Yeah, they won't let
They're like, oh, buy your own. I'm like, fuck you.
dude, I got mine
Suck
for
my
my
shaft from
family.
the back.
Like that sucks.
You have to
And-
be in the same
and
house.
It's not the same anymore. I was just having a whole ass conversation about this earlier this week. It's not the same anymore because back in the day, you used to be able to pay what it was $7.99.
It started off at like
Yeah.
$6.99 a month, and
Yeah.
the same thing
And-
with Hulu. Hulu jumped up too because they have like
I know, but this is the problem. Whenever they had it at first, they originally had the monopoly on it, so they had every show there. So you
Yeah.
were getting everything for $7.99. Now it's what $12.99, maybe more. But now there's so many different like streaming platforms that now they only have like one good show on the big N, one good show on the big H. Like that's just.
But Netflix has a lot of like movies that are new release movies now. Like I watched that movie like Anyone But You with the Sydney Sweeney girl from like Euphoria and the guy from Top Gun, not Tom Cruise, with the one other guy.
Mhm.
And it was real good. It was like a movie theater movie they had on there for free, and they didn't have commercials. Like I was excited to have that. I mean, so they have movies on there now too.
They don't do that anymore. Like Dune.
I just
Dune
watched
2,
it. I just watched it today.
I know, but they it's very rare for them to do that.
Well,
Like
Netflix has
Dune
not,
2
like Max stopped doing it. Like for a year, Max was anything was on Warner Brothers. Max released same day it was in the theater during COVID, and that's when you could watch Dune. I don't think Dune 2 is on Max right now.
Dune 2 just came out on streaming, and it was $24 for renting.
Just wait for another month. It'll
Yeah,
go on
it
Max.
was like
Netflix
was stupid.
Netflix has two different plans. They have a basic plan, which
And
is $11.99 a month, and then if you with an increase of $2 a month, so that's what it went up to from
9, yeah.
$9.99.
And what's the difference? Because
Commercials.
and then premium
Commercials.
Premium is $22.99. They're going to like a full streaming service now because the WWE signed a contract with
Yeah.
Netflix, so they're going to be on Netflix now
Ooh.
streaming,
Yeah, like,
and it's going to be no
Ooh,
more
back-
PG-13 shit.
which is
back around to the WWE.
well, which is funny because like I made the comment earlier about how like USA and Raw is leaving USA and going to
Mhm.
streaming. So like
Yeah,
as
it's going to Netflix.
as a
It'll all
TV
be-
show, it's leaving network.
They're
TV.
out of the
That's not bad.
PG-13 era.
Yeah.
They're out of it.
Because you figure what's that's 30 some years, right?
I feel like
N-
that's
93 to 20. Yeah.
That's why I mean, other than the fact that I would never sit there and watch like episode per episode for WWE anymore. But I mean, that was always the weird part back in the day because if you wanted to catch it, it was a specific time on a specific network. You had to record it, or else you missed it.
Well, they're
entirely.
just taking it off TV
They used to
altogether.
have
And you
it on
have
their
to
website,
you
too.
have to buy Netflix to watch it now because it's going to be
Yeah.
streaming live on there. Plus,
Mm.
they'll have past Royal Rumbles and stuff and
Yeah.
like past matches.
What's
and,
on
like,
Peacock right now?
Yeah, they
like
do that on
Peacock's one.
Peacock.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They're
I've
doing
been
it
hearing
with Netflix
that
and Peacock.
that one's been getting up there.
Peacock. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been hearing
A
that
lot
more
of
and
shows
more.
are just Peacock exclusive, like the TED Show and stuff.
I like that old show Las Vegas about the casino security. I watched
yeah.
that on Peacock.
The
Yeah.
hell is that? Is
Ja-
that like
James Caan was like a casino boss, and they have all the cameras in like the early 2000s. They could the guy that was like married to Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas is on it.
who is that?
Josh Dremel, I think is his name. Dremel.
Were they married?
I think he married her, maybe not. But I mean, so like, but there's like, it's so good though. Like it's
You want now rocking with
Yeah.
Will I Am and Britney, bitch.
I mean,
That fucking came out of nowhere.
Man likes his Black Eyed Peas.
Whenever I think of Black Eyed Peas, it's the first thing I think
It's
about.
Britney, bitch.
I always think of that compilation they did with the Justin Timberlake
Yeah.
because I was like, wow, Justin Timberlake's rocking with the Black Eyed Peas. Like he's gonna be big.
What song is that?
He did called
No.
"Where's the Love." Yeah,
What is
like
it?
it was called "Where's the Love." It was like in 2004. Like him and the Black Eyed Peas did like a compilation, not a compilation. What's when they come out? But they did a duo together. Right? But like it was
I've
super
never
good.
heard
Yeah,
it.
you probably know if you heard it. But it was like Justin Timberlake. I think it was right before like he ruined Britney Spears' life.
Justin Timberlake ruined Britney Spears.
Oh yeah, he wrote that song.
Yeah,
about
they were a
the
couple. That's
breakup.
why. That's why she's so fucked up.
Yeah,
mentally.
and like apparently like she
Oh.
cheated on him. He wrote some kind of crazy breakup song, and the video was called "Cry Me a River." Fucked her shit up.
I just remember whenever she was up against Fred Durst, dude. I remember whenever Fred
Yeah,
Durst
they were
was
they
knocking
were
that puss.
Yeah, and Christina Aguilera.
Difference is like they didn't like Fred Durst. Like Justin Timberlake had like a legit relationship, and he fucked her shit up.
Yeah.
Like you should like Google or like YouTube the Cry Me a River video.
Dude, go down
The
the
Cry
rabbit
Me a
hole.
River.
It has him.
Oh yeah, I have heard that song.
Yeah, it's got him like filming
I
a
didn't know
video.
that was about Britney.
And it's about Britney, and he
Yeah.
films the video and leaves it.
Leave
w-
Britney
yeah,
alone.
They were part. They were part of the
Mickey Mouse Club.
The Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably taking them feet pics back in the day.
Yep.
But
Getting
like,
diddled.
yeah, getting diddled. Yeah, taking them feet pics. But no, like he fucking screwed her mental health up, dude. I think she cheated on him first, though, and he just like was savage about it, dude.
I mean, that's what I mean. I feel like if you date anybody that's that high up, they're gonna have a fuck ton of baggage, dude. They're gonna be the worst kind of person ever, especially if they're like an actor or like crazy pop musician. They're gonna have the worst personality ever. It gets to your head, dog. It has to get to
I
your
feel
head.
like, well, personality, but like everybody has crazy baggage, dude. Like I meet people all the time. Like you
I
think,
know, but imagine the
like,
ego.
I mean, I guess. I mean, yeah,
It would be horrific, dude.
But so imagine the ego. Then like the dude like just brutalizes you about you think you're the shit and you're doing all this stuff and you think you're bad. This dude's like, nah, I'm not interested in you anymore. Sorry, fuck you. I mean, like, because if you want to make someone jealous, the worst thing you can do is make them think they're insignificant. I mean,
Yeah.
that's human nature.
Yeah.
That's not
Make
even
them feel like they don't matter.
yeah, and like you don't give a shit. Like
That's how you battle a narcissist, basically.
Yeah.
Make
And
them
like
feel like you don't care.
and listen, like that's my thing. Like, and I've been this way forever. Like, because I used to pick on as a kid. Like, if someone doesn't like me, like, fuck you. Like, I'm cool enough, dude. I don't need to give you my time.
I think
of
I'm
day.
cool. That's all that matters.
I mean, you have your moments.
Meh.
Your moments, yeah. I wouldn't ghost you.
I got
You know.
I got some baggage.
Yeah, he's got some. Oh yeah, you
Brian-
do. We've heard a lot about your
Brian's
baggage.
sitting
Yeah.
over there like, I hate Mexicans.
Brian's like,
I
Hey,
hate
no! All Mexican food does not taste the same. It's a fucking lie.
They got-
Mike is a liar and he is the racist.
Mike is a little racist.
What did I
Not
do?
a little. He's probably a fucking dime a dozen
I throw
racist.
this shade my way.
I will tell
We're
you.
throwing
anything to
shade.
back it up.
I will.
Shade your way, go shade.
I will tell you when I was gonna do this
So-
podcast and I was like do with the younger guys and I'm like I'm gonna be the most prejudiced motherfucker on here and I am the most progressive. Like
I'm
I
It's all
don't
Mike. It's all Mike.
like I am like I'm not progressive, but I feel progressive here.
Why?
I only talk about
Just
Jap
listen
vehicles.
to some bullshit you guys talk about. It's kind of like when where I work, like everybody me like owns a gun and carries the gun, and I'm like
Yeah.
here, and like I feel like a super like New Jersey liberal at my work, and I just because I don't own a gun.
A New Jersey liberal?
yeah,
I don't own a gun.
I'm the liberal in this
I'm not-
area.
I'm not mentally stable enough.
I mean, I do.
I'm sure you do.
Actually, my ex-wife wouldn't let
So
me
wait,
buy
you
a
don't,
gun.
are you saying that you don't own a
I
gun?
don't own a gun, no.
Really?
No.
I can't own a gun because I got my medical card.
Yeah, but I thought that you're just not allowed to have a concealed carry with it.
Well, yeah, that's true. You just can't have a concealed carry. It has to be like
So
for
you
her
can own a
protection.
gun.
I can, but I wasn't allowed because I was told I was mentally unstable by my ex-wife, and she was like, "I'll have a gun." But plot twist, I got that BFA, and she got hers taken.
Can you get a gun now?
I can, yeah. I just
Whenever-
can't.
I'll be
Well,
honest.
they're supposed to be passing a bill where people that have their medical card can have a concealed carry now, because that shouldn't defer, like your
Mhm.
your mental state.
And here,
Yeah, that would be cool.
and here's the thing with the medical card and stuff like that. Like, listen, like I don't get it. Like, it just makes me tired. But like, it's not a big deal. Like, you want to smoke pot or whatever, that's cool. Like, it doesn't affect you owning a gun or.
It blows my
Like
mind.
it's
that
so
it's not
fucking,
And here-
it's
and
so
here's-
fucking stupid.
And here's the thing too: not a lot of people smoke in the day. It's like a nighttime thing to help them sleep, or if they have pain, they make pain patches and stuff like that. You can get from the dispensary.
And like, listen, I'm not a fan of it. Like, I've hung out with people that do it. I've hung out with girls that do it. It irritates me. But like,
I do it.
I know, and we only
Pretty
hang out
douche.
once every 2 weeks. I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But no, like it's not a big deal though. It's like I don't like the smell of it, but like if people want to do it, like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like why? It shouldn't be like what is it, Section 1 drug or something like that? Or it used to be.
It's
like
a
that.
class A drug.
Like it used to be like yeah, because they're like it's gonna.
It's up there with
I
cocaine and stuff.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
it's
gonna
gonna
be honest. I thought last decade that this decade was gonna be the one where all marijuana is legalized across the
They need to
across the country.
listen. They
but
need.
it's so
They need to just
stupid.
legalize it federally
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever, and then use the taxes
Do you
from it from
remember-
the
Yeah,
dispensaries,
listen,
like Ohio's doing.
I agree. They need to legalize it right now because somebody sitting out here owns a shit ton of Philip Morris stock, and you know who's going to get the marijuana contract if it's legalized? Philip Morris, because they already have the infrastructure, and my stock's going to triple. So I wish Biden would get off his fucking ass and legalize the shit because you're going to lose the election to Trump, and you're both fucking vegetables. Legalize marijuana,
You
solidify
think
your.
Trump's gonna come out on top?
I think he's going to come out on top.
He's not a power bottom. He's.
I think he's going to come out, and they're having that
That's his
debate,
kink.
and they're having that debate now, which is going to be a train wreck. I'm embarrassed to watch it. Like.
When
No,
is
it's
that?
gonna be horrific.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be a wild fucking year.
I mean, we need to find a way to get Robert Kennedy's drunk ass on stage, like too. I don't understand it. And like,
Robert Kennedy's drunk ass.
he sounds drunk. I know he has.
Well,
a
he's
speech.
he has got something wrong with
he
his
has
a-
vocal cords.
and again, like,
I've listened to a bunch of his shit.
and again, like, yeah, he's super anti-vaxxer. Like, he's dying on the fucking like polio hill, which is crazy because they fucking cured polio. Yeah, there's some, you know, retardation to an extent. Sorry about the wording. I mean, excuse me, spectrum stuff. I was getting heated, so I forgot what I was gonna say. Like, but like, he's the best of the three options because the other two are fucking lunatics.
Well, he was
Yeah, I
also
mean,
talk. He was also talking
this is
about.
the best option for an independent to win, I think, in my lifetime.
I wrote him in.
So did I. I wrote him in, even though he wasn't on the ballot, and it doesn't fucking cause anything.
And I was gonna say he's one of the ones that want to legalize marijuana altogether and actually use that money towards like healthcare stuff and like fixing stuff and.
So you
know.
wrote him in on the Republican
Yeah.
ballot? Because I wrote him in on the Democratic ballot.
So that's interesting that you said because like
Mhm.
so I was looking at the stuff for Pennsylvania last week when it came.
So
in.
was I. I want to talk about that.
I did, and so like I don't know if I sent you the picture of this or not.
Mhm. No, you didn't.
But like so and the Democratic side is way more interesting.
Mhm.
So Biden had the most, and then there was some random
Some
person
random
running,
person.
and they got like 45,000 votes,
Mhm.
but there were 44,000 write-ins,
Mhm.
and the Republican side had 1,800.
Yeah.
Like we should be scared if you don't like Trump. Like that tells you a lot of shit.
Wait. So
So the Democrats are so frustrated with Biden that they wrote in 44,000 candidates.
this is what I heard. I heard that it was. I guess that it was a protest from the Palestine bullshit that's happening. I guess that a lot of people that want a ceasefire in Palestine, that's why I guess a bunch of. I'm assuming that's the Philly vote. To be honest,
That's
with you.
but think about how many that is though.
Yeah. I know.
44. I mean, that's enough to swing Pennsylvania
Mhm.
twice,
Mhm.
twice.
Twice, brother.
And the Republicans, I was one of 1,800 that voted as a write-in. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like Trump's an idiot and he shouldn't win, and he's probably gonna win.
I feel like those numbers are wrong because every single person I know that voted did that.
What?
Every single person I know, they all did a write-in.
No, they didn't. They lied to you.
Every
They told you
every single
big
person I know
lies.
that has told me with confidence.
People are embarrassed to admit that they're voting for Trump.
I mean, I don't. The people who are saying this have already told me that they have in the past, and they're okay with it. They prefer him over Biden, but they do not think either one should win.
Maybe
Every single person I've talked to over the last 4 years has said, "Oh, dude, this upcoming election, anything is better than Trump versus Biden."
But-
And where the fuck did all those people go? Because how the hell did we end up? I'm not gonna lie, I'm super upset with like the two-party system this year because I like really paid attention into how how this is discovered, like how these people get run up. Dude, it only takes 3 states to choose who the Republican or Democratic nominee for president is. Like the whole
Electoral
country doesn't
College.
yeah.
It's the Electoral College. It go based off of that.
No. I'm talking.
he's talking about the primary.
I'm talking about their
Primary.
caucuses.
Oh,
So they have to run through the caucus to see
the concass.
who. To see
We're the ones
who's
taking
gonna, who's gonna
Yeah,
be
we are.
who's gonna be like the Republican nominee or the Democratic
Democrat.
nominee.
Correct as well.
Democratic.
Democratic. Democratic.
I'm crabbing
But-
here. Watch out.
I'm just saying, like, what Trump was up against 4 different people.
But he wouldn't debate. He's such a fucking
I know.
coward.
Trump-
I'm gonna get so mad.
Trump was up against 4 different people. After one state, it was just Trump and Nikki
Nikki
Haley.
Haley because they
And-
dropped out.
Only one fucking state got to choose that. it's stupid. And the same thing with the Democratic side. Like Kennedy could have been,
but Nikki
Democrat,
Haley,
but they
Nikki,
just
well,
wouldn't.
no, Kennedy's not going to run as a because
he was originally trying.
If they were going to run a Democrat, they wouldn't have run Kennedy. I mean, they would have ran Gavin Newsom. Like Gavin Newsom would have wiped the floor with Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have I watched him debate like DeSantis on Fox, and DeSantis had home field advantage with a moderator, and Gavin Newsom embarrassed him.
Yeah, I saw.
I wanted to like DeSantis. Like I was watching it pro DeSantis, and I was like, this motherfucker looks bad.
I think after that interview is whenever DeSantis kind of cut out the woke shit, because I feel like a lot of people were getting pissed off about that, and I think he just called him out on it, and he's changed since then.
Gavin just killed him. I mean, he
Yeah.
killed his campaign. But again, Trump should have not been able not to debate in the primaries. Like he should have had to debate.
I know that's the most disgusting thing to me is that both of them just got away with not debating, and this is exactly what happened last time with Biden.
Yeah. Well, Biden debated once last time.
Biden debated once, but he wouldn't go. He wouldn't do anything with Bernie whenever it was just him and Bernie. They fucking threw Bernie underneath the rug. I fucking like. I don't know the whole them choosing who's going to be in charge of each party. It's just getting me more and more mad each election year.
Here's the thing, though, and like I met some Bernie supporters. I took a picture with one. We talked about it, and I will tell you, I mean, in my lifetime, Bernie's probably the most honest politician there is. I don't think he's a good politician. I think he's the most honest. The reason Bernie couldn't get any traction wasn't because the machine was out to get him. It was because the motherfucker wouldn't change his I to a D. He's an independent. He wanted to be the Democratic nominee. He wouldn't become a Democrat. No, he wasn't. He's an independent. He wouldn't change to an independent, from an independent to a Democrat. He wanted to run as a Democratic nominee as an independent.
Yep. I
like
remember
he
that.
wouldn't change to a Democrat.
So we can real shitty with
we can complain about all we want, but he wouldn't make that concession. And also another issue with the back when Clinton was running in 2016, the DNC didn't have any money because Obama spent it all. So the Clinton Foundation funded the DNC. Now, if you're funding the DNC, who would you like to support?
Yeah.
Hillary, who last time I checked is a Clinton, or a guy that's like, I don't want to be a Democrat.
That's true.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
and Bernie beats Trump, but Bernie
maybe. It was rough back then, because
beats
back
him
then,
real good.
then I feel like that whole communist thing that they were really throwing at him,
I
that
think he beats
shade.
him.
I knew a lot of people who the first time around, whenever he was up during the Clinton stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, it was crazy." I had this whole conversation. He was like, "Yeah, dude, the whole communist shit really made me hate Bernie Sanders." And then the second time around, whenever it was Bernie versus Biden, he actually looked at it and he was like, "Oh, I was just lied to." Like, just openly lied to that he was a communist. Or
I mean, he is a socialist. Like, he is straight. I mean, Bernie, and he didn't lie about
But
that.
I mean, the other side's going to use that as weaponry, and make it seem so much worse.
And listen, Bernie would have done those things, though. Like, I wouldn't have voted for Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders told who he was, and I don't like those things. But he would have done those things. And I mean, but he would have beat Trump. And listen, the only person that that Trump can beat now is Biden and maybe Kamala Harris. Like, there's only two people he could beat. But the Democrats should have ran Gavin Newsom. And I know, Kamala would have cried and said, well, you're not running because I'm a black woman and some bullshit like that. I mean, I guess maybe they could have coaxed Michelle Obama out to run because that would have ticked off that, checklist. But,
I think Michelle would have had an actual shot.
I mean,
just name stake.
Trump is unlikable. Like, he has 35% of the vote that will do whatever he says. And I went to Trump rallies. Like, I'm a big Republican. I'm a card-carrying Republican. I went to a Trump rally in Youngstown. I don't know if I talked about it or not. And
No, you haven't.
And so, I went to it. It was interesting because I'm always into, shenanigans. And, we're in the Cavelli Center, and, we're sitting up on these, you had to register, had to get a ticket. We're there. We're,
nosebleeds.
Well, there's not really nosebleeds. So we're on the sides.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, right where the Phantoms play.
Right in the sides, yeah. And, but there's a big center, floor seating for, a concert. And, in the middle of the thing, I swear to God, Trump all of a sudden said something, lifted his fucking hand in the air, and all these people in the bottom were, reaching out like he was fucking God. Like, Orange Jesus was, bringing these people in.
Cheeto Jesus.
And it was, how, what's wrong with people? And, the My Pillow guy was there, wilding out about not having a phone. And,
I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm about to kill my wife with this pillow.
He didn't talk, thank God, but, he did.
Sorry, no pillow talk today.
But it was right around the time, I like that, no pillow talk, that his phone was seized by the government or something like that. So he flashed a new phone. They let him know he had a new phone when it was seized.
They took it, but
was
I got a new
seized?
one.
So the government seized Mike Landell's phone, there's been Trump stuff going on forever.
Oh, yeah. But That was what he got in trouble for? Was that he was putting too much money in the Trump campaign or
I
something?
don't know what he. I mean, it's Michael Lindell. I don't really care, but like he was there, and he was an idiot that was there. And like Jim Jordan was there. Jim Jordan seems respectable, and that Marjorie Taylor Greene was there acting like all lunatic, like she does. She's really chiseled arms though. That was interesting. I didn't know she was jacked like that.
Who?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
She's fucking jacked.
She is
Oh
jacked.
my God.
She's jacked out. She's ripped.
I was hearing horrific shit about her.
Oh, she's terrifying. But like,
She's terrifying.
but again, I'm a conservative. Like I don't like to do these, but these are like I hate. These are the people that I have.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing on like the Democratic side because like I'm a registered Democrat, but like with the way that the party's going, it's not going what in my views would be the Democratic Party. Like I feel like I like the Democratic Party from the past. Like I'm imagining that's exactly how you feel about the Republican Party. They're both going very, very hard right now, and it's embarrassing. I mean, it's a really fucked up fucking system that we're in.
And like I don't understand like why we're tied to Donald Trump. Like I don't get it. Like he's charismatic, but like we've seen the show, like we've seen the movie. Like I don't understand it. I mean, I don't think the election was stolen because I'm not an idiot. Like I'm not buying that because the dude said, "Hey, don't vote, don't write me in, vote in person. You have to show forth, vote in person." And then Biden gets all the write-ins. I'm shocked. You told people to vote in person, you asshole. And then like the Dominion thing, like Dominion paid Fox like $800 million to settle out of court because the thing was a lie. You don't pay $800 million if you have a fucking leg to stand on.
Yeah.
It wasn't stolen. Like, so shut up about your thing. Like, were things better under you than Biden? Probably a little bit. The economy was booming and the inflation wasn't as high. But inflation was happening either way because money fell out of the fucking sky for 2 years.
Yep.
Like, inflation was going to happen. And right now, it's because of business. And again, I'm a conservative. Business is causing inflation because they're raising the prices and they don't, like, it's not, the production's back. I shouldn't have to pay 40 cents more for a thing of Coke. I shouldn't have to. But Coke's charged because we're going to pay it. And I'll tell you what, and this is going to hurt me to say it, if Obama was president, inflation wouldn't be bad because Obama would set them straight.
Probably.
And I hate Obama.
I was gonna say the whole price of food going up thing
I-
too. I went to Hotheads the other day. They're like, "Sorry, the price of food's going up, so we have to charge more for our entrees."
I also think that like the whole presidential debate shit has gotten so out of whack because the president is extremely important, but how locked up Congress is so much more important than whoever the fuck the president is. Because Congress being locked up like it is, where it's only a fucking a 6-person difference.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And it's caused I don't know if you're aware about this, but like it's caused like 8 people on the Republican side to be able to control Congress.
Huh.
Because all they have to do is vote against it. And that's why their fucking speaker of the House just keeps on changing over and over again. They're on their 4th guy.
Oh,
no,
shit.
they're on their 3rd. They're working on their 4th guy.
Don't they do like votes for that shit?
Yeah,
So-
and it's almost caused like the government to break down multiple times.
So the thing that happened with that was kind of interesting with the Congress thing. Because they passed the thing because they wanted to make it so like they were actually going to fucking do things. And this revote is like you don't do things. One person can say, "Hey, I don't like you as this."
Yep.
Like we're going to hold you fucking accountable. But these idiots are using it like a kangaroo court, and they're just doing it for publicity. I understood the reason because you want people to get shit done. You want to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
But it only takes one person to say you're doing it wrong, and then they gotta have a re-fucking vote. Like it's insanity. The whole thing is insanity. It drives me nuts. Just like Mitch McConnell slander drives me nuts. I hate that too.
Yeah, I mean this is his last year.
Yeah,
He's calling it quits. He
here's,
said, "I'm not gonna die here. I'm leaving."
I'm down in my seat. Fuck that.
here's my thing, and I don't know how many guys like Republicans you talk to like around here, but like a lot of things now because Trump is badmouthed Mitch McConnell. Even though the reason Trump has 3 fucking Supreme Court justices are going to say him is because Mitch McConnell is a fucking gangster and shut down a Barack Obama pick. I mean, he got him because Mitch McConnell is the reason there's 3 conservative justices. And they're bad, and Trump's bad-mouthing Mitch McConnell because he sounds like an idiot and he looks horrible, but like he's still. If there was a Mount Rushmore of Republican politicians, Mitch McConnell is fucking on there. And if you're a Republican, you say Mitch McConnell sucks, you are uneducated. Like, but Trump said he's bad. So all these Republicans, all the people that are reaching out to the fucking sky, Orange Jesus, said,
Cheeto face.
Cheeto face, Orange. He said Mitch McConnell is bad, so I guess Mitch McConnell is bad, and that's what we fucking have. And on a side note, I'm about to rip my toenail off.
Oh Jesus! Let's fucking
the toenail.
we're
The
actually-
dreaded toenail.
Look at it.
We're pretty close on fucking time.
On
Gonna bring it in here.
Well, I was gonna say on Cubase here, we're on at like an hour and 51. We're about to hit an hour and
I
52.
mean, we got plenty, so we're gonna.
You want to see it?
Oh!
put it on
Oh
camera?
God, no! Don't,
that's
don't.
oh my God.
Look at that. that. Dude.
Oh, dude, let's.
I don't know if it's on camera or not. But
Oh
yeah.
no! Don't put it on there. No.
It doesn't even hurt. Like it's because the nail's back. The nail's back underneath that. Yeah.
All right, we're fucking done.
Oh my god! I need a fucking breather after the tonus.